That's
jamming to
we're
the
all
music.
jamming to music.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to episode 9 of Proficiency Bonus of Storm King's Thunder here on Proficiency Bonus. We are rocking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle night tonight here while we're playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We're so glad that you're joining us here on the stream tonight. I just want to first of all thank Team MZ for helping us out and supporting us, supporting small streamers like us to get our names out there and to get some more exposure, get some more people who are interested in Dungeons and Dragons to be able to watch our stream live here on Twitch. So thank you once again, Team MZ. If you want to check them out, you can check them out on Twitter, on Facebook, and on the wonderful interweb if you want to go and check them out. I also want to thank all of our followers and all of our subscribers that we've got so far. If you would like to, we are now a Twitch affiliate channel, so you can go ahead and click that subscribe button right above you if you'd like to do that. It is September here on Twitch, so all subscriptions are 50% off right now. So there's no better time than now to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't followed us yet, go ahead and make sure you do that here tonight. But I'm going to take you over so you can see our cast all dolled up in their wonderful themed attire. Right now, Zos is hanging out in the sewers where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hang out. We've got... Yeah. And we do have a special themed giveaway tonight at the break. We are going to give away some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle little gift prizes. We've got some stackable mystery figures and some different things that we picked up. We also got a set of Dungeons and Dragons dice that we're going to give away, and fancy that, they're green, so it'll be fantastic.
Whoa!
So we've got those to give away during the break today. So make sure, probably around 9:30, we'll be giving those things away. Also, we do a new stream here on Monday nights of Tomb of Annihilation with our wonderful DM Matthew who plays Molfin in our wonderful adventure. So, Matthew, if you would like to do a quick little plug for Tomb of Annihilation on Mondays, go ahead, right ahead and take on the microphone.
Certainly we can about this. So, for those who are interested, we're running Tomb of Annihilation. We're currently actually having some fun with tomb raiding in last week's episode. But big one for this week, our stream is going to be doing our first giveaway this Monday night during leading up to and during our break. And our giveaway is specifically themed for our adventure. We are giving away the actual Tomb of Annihilation dice set, which comes complete in their own little fancy metal container. So if you're interested, make sure you stop by, check out our stream. We're on Monday nights, 8 p.m. and 11. Same bat time, same bat channel. Just different day.
Awesome. I picked up the Tomb of Annihilation dice set myself, and I love it. So I opened mine, though. I'm not giving mine away. So
my DM's a little greedy. My group's DM not so much.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna keep these for myself. So my local game store gave me 50% or 15% off of them, so I got a really good deal on them as well. So I was excited.
Oh, not bad.
So big shout out to Cardboard Castle out there in Evans, Georgia. So go ahead and check them out. Another thing that we've got on the books for tonight is JJ picked up a really cool book, and he would like to share some information about that right now.
Oh, absolutely. So I just want to give a quick shout out to the team at Many Sided Dice for providing me with this absolute beast of a book, if I can get it in camera. It is Lost Artifacts of Greygust Magic Compendium for 5e. And my God, is it thick? THICC. That baby's thick. Fantastic book. We will be providing links to their online store and their Twitter and whatnot if you guys want to check them out. But I've read through it, and I absolutely recommend getting onto this book because it is fantastic. I'm going to definitely be using this in future campaigns that I run, and I'm sure Michael and even Matt might implement this in this campaign. So look out for that.
Oh, yeah.
It may be something that's being looked into.
Who knows? Who knows? You may even run into them sooner rather than later. The one thing I really
Oh,
like.
no.
The one thing I
No,
really.
but guys, fantastic book. So good.
The one thing I really like about the book is it goes into a lot of detail about like the history and the origin of the magic item.
Oh, that's
So it gives you it gives DMs more tools to build a story from, or how this particular weapon got to where it is now. So I think that's really interesting. So
much content.
So there is a link in the Twitch chat up there right now to the actual book itself. They have it posted on drivethrurpg.com. So if you click on that link, it will take you right to the book. And if you want to purchase it today, you can go ahead and you can make your purchase. You can get it in a PDF or the actual hardback book itself. So totally up to you. Awesome. Also, we are going to be giving away a monster manual, hardback monster manual, a hardback module of the viewer, the winner's choice, and a set of Dungeons & Dragons dice when we reach 100 followers. So if you have not followed us yet, please make sure to hit that follow button and join us on our adventures each Friday night for Storm King's Thunder and Monday night for Tomb of Annihilation. Like I said, tonight we'll have a giveaway at around 9:30, and Christy, our very own Christy, has done another amazing artwork for our adventures. We've got Diana was finished this week, so her new character token is up there. You can actually see it on the screen, some of Christy's artwork. We got her token set, and also you'll be able to see a better image of it during the break as our commercials run through whenever we take a quick breather from our session tonight. So thank you once again, Christy, for the amazing artwork. It's absolutely terrific. And
thanks, guys.
So I guess you're working on Moby next, is that right?
Yes,
All
Moby is
right.
next.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hopefully, I'll do
Captain
this for
Suicide.
So exciting.
Are you just drawing him unconscious?
Am I just drawing him what?
Unconscious.
I should.
No, he's going to be underwater, drowned.
Yeah.
Like
unconscious.
X's for eyes.
Yep.
His red hair just flowing through the water as he's like just there. Oh, I hate it, but I'm gonna have to.
With a
ditch
poor
that
little
Leonardo mask.
squirrel with X'd out eyes as well.
No
Yeah.
problem.
'Cause now that I think about it, when he was drowning under the water, wouldn't that mean the squirrel was drowning too, being all knotted up in his hair?
Oh!
That's animal cruelty, my friend.
Yeah.
He was just like sitting on top of his head, just floating there, like, what's going on?
And when that happened, honestly, I totally forgot that he even had the squirrel with him. So it was like,
Otherwise, the squirrel had to do a death saving throw too.
So did I.
the squirrel was totally
I
protected in his
totally
hair.
forgot about
So,
Oh, it's waterproof. I use like water, like resistant, like wax and everything, so nothing's getting there.
There you
So-
go.
so-
There you go. Perfect. So we've got that, and also we're gonna get ready to do a quick recap. But before we do that, I think everybody got a point of DM's inspiration at the end of last episode, but I can't remember who got the nat 20.
Moby
Did Moby get it? Okay, that's who I thought got it. So we're gonna go ahead and put that
for
nat
the
20.
squirrel. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Got it for the squirrel running around,
Yeah,
doing
the squirrel doing cool stuff.
The eyes of a squirrel.
So there
cool.
we
You
Magical.
got it.
Oh my god!
go.
Oh, thank you, South Park, for inspiring that tune.
Excellent. So we are going to get ready to quick recap. Last week, they spent some time. Our heroes spent some time in Nightstone trying to regroup after the orcs had been pretty much dismantled and sent scattering without leadership into the nearby hills and forests of the north. And there, we've got Josh is back active in there. We got Mr. Carrot Rope back active in the chat tonight. So welcome, guys. We're so glad that you're here joining us tonight. Last time, the adventurers, after sending the orcs back into the hills, they spent some time with each other, kind of just regrouping and making a plan of how they could save the missing villagers from Nightstone. And Kella had approached Lachlan and handed Lachlan a rolled up piece of parchment that was very intriguing to Callista.
Ooh.
But
I wouldn't say intriguing's not really the word.
and it sparked a little bit of party conflict for a little bit there, as there's some tensions building in that situation, and Lachlan kind of decided
Shame on
he would
you,
just hide away this piece of parchment and keep it away from his friends for right now. So then Molfin spent some time copying a spell. I believe it was what was it? Identify a spell, Molfin?
Are you muted?
Yep, detect magic.
Oh, detect magic. That was it.
Cast silence.
Spent some time. Yeah, they spent a little they spent a little time in town, kind of regrouping. Ultimately, they decided it'd be best to go to the Goblin hideout, where Hark is keeping the prisoners, the Goblin king, so to speak, of this clan. During the nighttime, when goblins are more active, so that possibly the hunting parties could be out and about, and possibly less conflict in the cave itself as they approached. They decided when they got closer that they were going to send Moby's squirrel in with Callista, using one of her spells to actually see and use the animal's senses to guide her way through the cave, which was an amazing thing. That I thought that our
So
party-
tense.
It was tense as the squirrel made its way through the cave, seeing some different things, seeing some goblins with their pet rats, also just getting some of the inner workings of the cave system. Also seeing a very large creature bathing in a hot tub of bubbling mud inside inside the cave that Callista was presuming was an ogre. And after that, the party decided to leave the elves who had come with them outside to kind of defend the front gate and to protect their backs. The the trio of our wonderful gnomes, along with Gum Gum, decided that their best bet of getting in was to pretend that Moby was their prisoner. Molfin was invisible, and Lachlan decided to use a illusion to make himself look like one of the goblins that he killed back in Nightstone. They were able to deceive the people in the front, and Gum Gum led them into where the prisoners' chambers were, and Moby was tossed into the prisoners' chambers with all of basically the whole town of Nightstone is hanging out here. They were being very quiet not to awaken some bats that cause a ruckus, and Diana and Callista made their way down a natural chimney in the top of the hill, where they discovered a goblin named Snigbat, who was very happy to see them, actually, because Snigbat would like to take over the goblins herself. And seeing a strong, tall individual in Diana, decided to ask for her help. And they agreed and followed Snigbat. And right as we ended the last episode, Hark, Diana was trying to stay hidden, but Hark was able to see her peeking around the corner as he was feeding some of his pet rats, one of the other villagers, because we all know goblins really like humans. So apparently they like to feed them to their rats as well. So that is where we left off. And now we're going to dive right in.
We're gonna dive right in.
with and so
Wolfen's running.
Yep.
Okay.
So the story is told.
Oh man.
So,
Diana.
Who's ready for TPK?
yeah, do I get a chance to just, like, talk my way out of this? Can I Jack Sparrow this situation?
As
Sparrow,
as
cleric.
as Hark notices you, Diana, the two goblins to his left and the right, they immediately pull out arrows, and they knock the arrows in their short bows, and they go to pull up their bows, but they hold their fire as Hark holds up a hand like this. He just holds it up and stops them from releasing the arrows. and he steps forward towards Snigbat. And you notice that Snigbat, who was trying to get closer to Hark to start a fight, changes her approach and immediately turns around, pulling out her own short bow and faces it towards you as she points it back. Hark steps up and puts a hand on Snigbat's shoulder and looks towards you, Diana, and he sees just your face kind of peeking around the corner. It says, Why have you come?
Well, I am the cousin to the king, and I thought that I would come and just make a surprise family visit, you know? Yeah. It's his birthday soon. Do you not know your own king's birthday? You know, it's his birthday soon, and I just really wanted us as family to come by. So, I don't know, I guess that just makes you bad subjects for not knowing your own king's birthday, but, you know.
What king?
The king one. What was his name? What was his name, DM? What was his name again?
Hark.
What you're talking to?
There is no better way to start off a session of D&D than that right there.
Yes.
Than that.
Callista's slowly backing up, by the way.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Yeah, right now they have no idea Callista's even there in the hallway, so...
No. I'm King Hark. King Hark, that's who I'm referring to. That guy.
I'm King Hark.
Cousin! Hey! And then I turn to Callista and I say, run. And I'm gonna cast.
Oh, no!
I'm gonna cast.
Why?
Oh, what am I gonna cast?
Why have you come? I don't recognize you.
Dude, I'm running down the hall and I'm casting what's it on myself. Oh no, wait. Oh no. I'm also going to throw out a bird call to the rest of the group.
A bird call.
How are you my cousin?
Okay. Can I, like, discreetly cast, I think it's Shield of Faith that will protect me. Do I have my daily spells? Oh my gosh, how many spells do I have?
Yeah, you should be okay.
You should be full.
Okay.
I don't think we did anything since...
I'm the only one that casted invisibility.
Yeah.
I cast Disguise Self.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I have 2 more to my AC now, so that's a thing. Okay. How can I be your cousin? Do you not see our family resemblance?
Go ahead and make a deception check.
DM's inspiration.
All right. Nice.
What did I do?
First roll of the night, and we're using our inspiration. That's great. I love it. Let's see if I can find. I think Hark.
Hey.
I don't think Hark has his own character sheet in here. I'm gonna have to go to just the regular goblins here.
At some point, I'm turning and I'm running away, and I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself. That's going to happen at some point, probably when they decide to loose those arrows. Alright, deception. 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 Oh my god.
Ooh. Ooh.
Did I roll?
And you have advantage. So, Hark looks towards you, Diana, and kind of squints his eyes a little bit, and is like, "Ah, I remember now. Weren't you that one that always sang the funny songs?"
Yes. Yes, but no. Maybe when I was younger. Maybe when we were like children. But now, no. That was Irma, definitely. That was cousin Irma.
Irma.
I was yes.
I never liked Irma.
Yeah. Real bad girl. not cool at all. So, cousin, is this just how you welcome family? Me and my personal servant here, my slave, they're goblins. It's their culture. Maybe I shouldn't do that as a white person. Maybe I should take that. My personal servant.
There's someone with you?
Yes, my personal servant, not a slave. I believe in equality. And yeah, she's here. She's behind me. She turns into a bear. It's casual. She's my personal guard as well.
Oh. Hark like bears.
Is there any way Callista could call out Jenga?
Callista, as you're kind of slinking back that hallway, you do see this. Wait, hold on a second. It's not revealing the area for me.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I've just been backing up a little bit.
One second. Let's see if it does this. Did that help?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of see that area as you're headed that way.
Okay.
You're able to see me killing us. One word at a time. Cousin, is this how you welcome family? I mean, I just feel like a feast is
Jenga!
don't you?
Would you like to have a little snack?
No, I want to save my appetite for dinner. That's dinner.
He walks up to this human that a couple of these rats are chewing on, and he picks up a piece of flesh, like it's like a piece of, and he holds it out towards you, Diana, and he's like, a quick snack, and he's holding it out about 10 feet away from you.
Why are you doing this to me? Why, Michael? Okay.
This is amazing.
Eat it you must.
My stomach hurts.
Will just bow and say thank you, and I will take it, and I'll save this one for later. A tasty little dessert, and I just put it in my pocket.
We have more for dessert as well.
Yum. Okay, let's go there, actually. Why don't you show me what is on our main course tonight? I just am curious, what are we eating?
Oh, we've got prisoners from a local village.
Yeah, you should take me to go see them.
They came right to Hark. It's
Ha ha
wonderful.
ha, yes. You should come see, let's go see them together. Let's go, see them and eat them, cook them, let's go. But first you have to take me to go see them, and that's where we gotta go. Because I like to see what I'm eating, make sure that they're big and fat and everything. Let's go there.
Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate you jumping on board for the adventure. Thank you guys. Hark slowly starts to walk up towards you and says, "Okay, we go see, but they're not as many anymore as there used to be." And he starts rubbing his stomach a little bit.
Oh, that's fine. You know me, always been a big eater, though. As long as there's still enough. And I gesture to Callista. Get over here. Snap at her like she's my...
Did anyone hear me coughing into the echoing cave?
The rest of you make perception checks for me, please. Moby, Muffin, and Lachlan. And give me a second, too. I gotta shut my my room door here for a second.
Do I get any sort of bonus being out in the open area? Oh, he's not there anymore.
Sorry about that.
I think.
Hijack the stream. Oh, too late.
All right, so Lachlan, Moby.
Mine's being a little slow pulling up for me. Give me a second. Perception. Do I get any sort of bonus being right outside in the wide open area?
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh. Wow, that is amazing. 2
Double crit fails.
snake eyes. My goodness. Yeah.
Man.
Molphin, for some reason, you're just fascinated by this nasty water that's like laying on the floor or ground in front of you, the cave. And you're kind of like looking at it, and you kind of look closely, and you can see like little bacteria and things kind of like moving through the water. You can kind of like see all these things, like these little insects and things like moving through the water, and you're just fascinated by it for some reason.
I need a vial to be able to study this. This is absolutely fascinating. Lachlan! Gotta be quiet. Lachlan!
Lachlan hears me, right?
Lachlan, you do hear something that sounds like one of your friends making awkward sounds. But from the farther side of the cave, you have no idea what this word means. But there's some awkward word echoing through. It doesn't sound like a goblin or an ogre. But Moby, you can hear something as well, but you're not sure what you think it could be a goblin, it could be an ogre. You're kind of trying to be quiet in here with all these prisoners and not stir up the bats. So it's really hard to tell exactly what that is with your conversation that you have going on with this dwarven man in front of you, this dwarf. So Lachlan,
How many times can you say dwarf?
how many times can you say
all
dwarf?
one
Yeah.
sentence?
I'm pretty good at extending my sentences.
Where were we?
So Lachlan
die.
heard Callista. That's where we were kind of.
Do I have a sense that it's Callista, or do I have no idea? Like, you know.
Oh yeah. With a roll of a 21, it could be
You're
either
used
Diana
to me
or
yelling
Callista.
at you, Lachlan. I'd assume you'd know.
Yeah. You're kind of used to this yell. It sounds like
Yeah, I've been yelled at a few times.
you guys have only been hanging out for about 5 days altogether.
Yeah.
With the travel here and the 2 days you spent in nights. This is the second day of actual adventure time that we've had here. But
Yeah.
you've gotten quite used to the way Callista reacts and responds to you.
To everything that I do. I'm gonna try to flex my newfound magic capabilities here and cast message to try to send her away. Like, is everything okay?
Okay.
And I think she gets a. If it makes it to her, then maybe she gets a reply.
Yeah, I think it's just on the message can be heard. Reply in a whisper, and
reply
only
in a
you can
whisper.
hear. Sure. Make someone for the stone. Yeah, you seem to have no problem doing that.
Okay.
So
Goblin King found Diana. We have a problem. Do something.
And then I want to whisper to Moby, Goblin King found a problem. They have a Diana.
Close enough.
What?
Yeah.
What are you saying? What?
I don't know. I think stuff's going down.
What's going down in here?
We're all gonna die.
and this Morak, the dwarf sitting next to you, Moby, looks at you awkwardly. Like, why are you talking to that goblin?
We're here to rescue you. We're all together. Infiltration mission. I give him a thumbs up. Just trust me. Trust me.
That goblin is with you?
Yes. He's not really a goblin. He's my cousin. He's a gnome.
He's not a
magic
goblin.
users.
He's my cousin.
Oh, a gnome. Is he shorter than me?
I mean, is now the time to be asking this? No.
We're worried about her height.
But yes, he is.
It's important to me.
I also, while they're having this exchange, I want to point to that short sword that I kind of like dropped his way in case these prisoners are unarmed.
Oh, so you're kind of pointing down.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab that.
Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. Welcome aboard the adventure.
Oh.
I didn't catch the name, but welcome aboard. So glad that you're here. as you're pointing down, the dwarf is just giving you the most awkward look because now he's extremely confused because you look like a goblin. He thinks you're a goblin, but now Moby tells him that he's not. He's actually a gnome with an illusion. So he's really confused.
I want to lick my teeth just to confuse him more, and like rub my belly.
And he looks towards you, Moby, and is like, if that's your cousin, he has got some problems.
Begins to describe it.
You're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir right now.
And then Hark kind of puts a hand on Diana's shoulder as she takes the human flesh from him. And he kind of said, "Oh, you have pet bear. I have a pet rat. I'd take one with us. Would you like? Would you?" And the rat kind of like walks next to you, like kind of like a small dog, and just starts sniffing the side of your leg a bit, and kind of just kind of like sniffing and scratching at the floor just a little bit as it starts to walk beside you. And Hark turns around back to the other goblins and rats behind you. Stay here. Finish the meal.
I turned into a bear. I turned into a brown bear.
No, everything is fine. It is not Jenga.
No, I'm. He says you have a pet bear. I'm turning into a pet bear.
Oh, okay. I turn back. I'm like,
I turned into a bear.
you're normal people.
All right.
You know,
Callista.
servants are.
Callista transforms. Are you transforming into the large brown bear or the
I am.
black bear? Okay. So,
I'm going big.
So Callista transforms into a giant, massive grizzly bear within this small area of the cave. And Hark is now up here with one of his giant rats and going to lead Diana to where he is holding the prisoners. So
I wait for my bear.
You wait for your bear? Okay, well,
yes.
he kind of
back up.
Oh, that's a massive bear.
I turn to him and I'm like, yeah, mine's bigger than yours.
Do you
Got him.
Do you treat your bear as a mount? Do you ride the bear into battle?
Obviously. It's a...
Callista's questioning all of her life choices up until this point.
That's great. Maybe you two could help Hark. Maybe you two could help Hark.
And help you with what exactly? Because I have been doing a lot of helping lately, and I have not been receiving, and I'm really I think it's the year of me right now. So what do you want, is what I'm saying.
Hark and goblins have big problem in cave. Hark need help.
What's the problem?
See, we have an intruder in our cave. An intruder called the Blob.
Oh.
The Blob lives in the southeastern side of our cave, and it's blocking us from getting to our fresh water.
Okay. That is cool. I think that the best time to fight people is after dinner. So, I think that we should go get some food before we kill the Blob, and then we kill the Blob later. What you thinking?
I think that could work. The Blob doesn't come out of that part of the cave.
Exactly. So let's go. See those imprisoned people. Let's go. Come on, I need to
Okay.
need to see these guys up.
So Hark starts trudging past, kind of gets next to the bear and hesitantly approaches the bear, seeing its massive size. And the bear
snarl at it.
snarls, and Hark kind of backs up against the wall a little bit. It's like, it looks towards you, Diana. I need to get by the bear to lead you there.
All right, bear.
I mean, question is, how big is this corridor, and how big am I? Can you grab me? Do I have to back up?
Yeah, you probably kind of have to back up out of this. It's only about, well, I mean, you're pretty massive, and it's only about a 5-foot little tunnel that leads out.
I'll lead us out then.
Okay.
Okay.
Hark follows with one of the giant rats as Hark kind of breaks off a piece of what looks to be human flesh and is kind of feeding the rat as they walk along, kind of like little dog treats.
I do the same thing. Stuff.
As he moves this way, he kind of just looks up at these pedestals. There's this one goblin on the pedestal that kind of stands up with his bow and kind of looks down towards, and Hark kind of just gives him a look and kind of nods and says something in Goblin to him, and he kind of just seems like he just goes back into his normal routine as Hark leads you guys all the way across this large outcropping. You guys can hear some snoring as you pass this center area where all these stalagmites are sticking up high from the floor of the cave. Mulfin, you notice this interesting group of
Are you muted,
creatures.
Mulfin?
Yeah, it really is.
Every time. Every time.
Bear is Callista.
I mean, you saw me as a bear earlier.
You saw her as a black bear, though. You didn't see her as a giant grizzly bear.
Crap.
So, technically no, Mulfin, but shortly after that bear comes out, you do notice that there is a rather intimidating-looking goblin with this stringy black hair sticking up, kind of a grayer tone to his skin.
I will say that the bear is shadowing Diana, so that might help.
Okay. And the goblin seems to be leading the way as they get out of that part of the cave. And you can see Diana right next to this large bear that seems to be walking obediently next to her.
I tamed a bear in about 5 minutes, and I brought it down here. Taught it how to rope.
Skills.
Would poking the bear in the ear be construed an attack?
Considering you're invisible, I would let that happen. I'd be okay with that.
As the bear walks by, Mulvin is gonna, wet the finger, wet willy.
Nice.
Would I know that's him? I would know because I cast invisibility on him. I kind of like motion my head at the Goblin King. Like, I don't know where he is, but I'm motioning, having a little twitch.
Is the bear itchy? See, when the rat gets itchy, I just scratch him like this. See, he starts scratching him behind the ear, and the hind leg starts moving really fast like a dog.
Yeah, I give Callista a little scratch, and then I try to feed her some flesh.
Oh no! No! Don't you dare, Diana! Don't you dare!
Diana starts scratching Callista and dance her and holds out this piece of human flesh in front of her.
Yummy!
Way to turn it on her, Diana. My goodness.
What happened to Team Tall?
Oh God, what happened
Team
to
Tall
being a
left
parrot?
Team Tall and joined Team Goblin.
Okay. Hark's like, the bear doesn't seem to be hungry.
Guess not. Actually, it's funny. Bears are mostly vegetarians. They have mostly plant-based diets, so she probably just, isn't feeling meat right now. It's probably not hibernation season or whatever. I'll just put it back in my pocket.
Interesting.
You're gonna make me eat that flesh, girl. Swear to God.
Quickly, cousin, come see our prisoners.
All right. I am so excited to see these prisoners. I am so ready. I want to eat. Ooh, girl, I'm hungry.
So, Lachlan, as they are stepping forward, you are noticing that there is an interesting goblin headed your way. As he approaches the entryway and sees both you and Gum Gum standing there, and he looks towards you and he says, Gum Gum, you have returned to the cave, and you brought back Pojo!
Hojo.
How was the raid on the village? Did you find good things?
I look to Gum Gum to answer.
Gum Gum's kind of shocked and astonished at this point in time. Gum Gum is not very good at hiding things and is really starting to, you can start to see beads of sweat, Lachlan, start to form on Gum Gum's forehead as Gum Gum starts talking.
I cast Shield of Faith.
What's that?
What'd you cast?
I cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
So I have 2 points for AC.
And,
Can I do a sneak attack on Hark?
Yeah, listen, we have him cornered right now, but let's let Gum Gum speak for a second. I'm interested.
Are you gonna stop the bear?
All of a sudden, Diana and the bear are having a pep talk behind Hark, right?
Hey, I'll hold until Diana. Yeah, I'll hold.
Yeah, Callista the bear starts to get ready to pull up a hand, and just, like getting up like this, like standing tall, and Diana's just like, just like grabbing him.
Exactly how it's going down.
And then Hark turns around, and then Diana's just like, just stops and just
When he turns around, I want to while he turns around, I want to cast a message. Say to Callista, "You didn't tell me there was a bear."
I don't think I can reply in bear form.
You
He
just
just
hear,
hears like a muffled.
yeah, you just hear that sound
You
of
just
the
see
bear
the bear
sound.
roll her eyes. The bear is literally rolling her eyes.
Gum Gum starts to respond to Hark, and I found some good things. I found a whole bag of things. I found some delicious muffins, some cooking supplies, some things that we could even use silver with. I found lots of things. And she's talking way quicker. She's talking way faster than she normally talks, and it just doesn't sound anything like herself. He awkwardly looks towards Gum Gum and then looks over towards Pojo. It's like, What took you so long?
I turn to Callista, and I'm like, Jenga!
Whoosh! Multi-attack!
All right.
On Hark's back! So he doesn't
Alright.
see it coming.
Go ahead and unleash your attacks.
Sneak attack.
You have surprise, so it's sneak attack. You have advantage.
Okay. Let's see, how do I do this?
Oh dear God! Wait, what happened? We were having a conversation. I go to turn my AC on, and all of a sudden, somebody's killing someone.
Oh my god.
The bear is mauling the back of Hark right now. Okay.
Not good. But I also get two
Yeah,
attacks, so the first attack's with advantage, the second one's not.
Yeah, the first one is going to miss. What? Go ahead and roll your next two.
What the hell?
Goodness.
What is with this?
Oh.
What is what?
Go
Roll
ahead.
20?
Go ahead and you have advantage on this one as well. Go ahead and roll again.
I'm scared to roll. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that one will meet its mark. So it was the first one, kind of like what is your multi attack? Is it claw then bite?
Let's see. Bite and then claw.
Okay, so the bear goes to chomp down, and just because of the aggression and the pure excitement from Diana yelling that, even with Hark being surprised, your teeth kind of just snap right over his shoulder and miss its mark. But then as you're kind of coming back up, you reach up with a claw and strike him right across the side as he's getting ready to turn around to see what is going on behind him. Go ahead and roll your damage.
11.
Oh, slashing right through Hark. And
Would Molfin be able to fire off a firebolt seeing this happen, or no?
Also, can I throw Sacred Flame at him? And run.
Sounds like it's going down.
It sounds like it is.
Going
Actually, yes. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just go ahead. We'll say that Callista, since Callista just got the jump on it, that will be the surprise. We'll give everybody, go ahead and click on your tokens and let's roll initiative as I put up a turn order. And, oh my goodness.
Big bucks, baby, big bucks!
Here we go.
Make sure you click on your token before you roll, so that way it automatically adds it to that
Not
turn
good.
order.
There we go,
And-
Moby. Yeah, do that fireball.
Oh.
Oh, the music just got intense.
Yeah.
How high is my initiative? Ooh, that's a good initiative.
Wow.
-1. Damn.
Okay.
Hey, Mo-
That music's. Whew.
Yeah, this is a good battle theme.
Is it
Initiative.
too loud? Should I turn it down?
Now
It's
we're
perfect on my end.
Okay,
Nah, it's good.
I'll turn it down
I
just a
can
little bit. Okay, let's add Gum Gum to the initiative order. Oh yeah.
Sounds like JRPG music or something.
I'm down.
Yeah, well, I'm going first. And I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, and
Oh my lord.
okay. Oh, dang it. This is probably an in-character question, so I can't ask it right now. Okay, never mind. I have an idea to propose to the team.
Huh.
Alright, I should be done rolling initiatives right now. Alright. Moby. You can start to hear some commotion happening. You started to hear Gum Gum speak very rapidly. And you started to hear a lot of things coming out from the hallway. What is it that you would like to do at this point in time?
Whew. Alright, so I've got this sword that Lachlan's thrown down. I'm just gonna hand it off to the dwarf. And I'm gonna say to him, look, if anything happens, you'll need to protect these villages. I'm gonna try and get back up there to see what's going on. Do you think you could throw me?
I could try.
Tossed by a dwarf.
Very, very light.
All right.
Oh,
Morak,
that's right.
Morak grabs you by the back of your kind of like neck area, collar area, and then grabs you by like the bottom of your
Oh,
trousers,
not so rough, not
by,
so
by
rough.
your trousers,
No.
and starts to toss you. Let's see how Morak does here with this toss. We've got some named NPCs. Let's find. I think Morak is actually down here. Where are you? There he is.
If I hit the side of this thing,
Oh, let's see how
It's
he
gonna be
does.
hell.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see how he
that
does.
doesn't sound good.
He throws you.
Oh!
Oh!
Wow!
And
Like shot puts you.
with elegant force, he tosses you into the air, and you land perfectly next to Gum Gum on the other side of this wall. And he's just standing there, and he looks over to you and just goes like this.
Oh, this guy's cool.
I like him.
Okay, so would you like to move?
No, I think I'm good here. I'm assuming that took my action, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say we'll move on.
Flying through the air was your action. Morak took your action
Makes
for you.
sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Any bonus action you'd like to do or anything, Moby?
Not at the moment. I think that is it.
All right.
That's all good.
So we'll go to Diana. You just watched your
Okay.
pet bear maul Hark. Hark looks
Yep.
very angry.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I see the ogre thing, the big thing that's like hiding in the rocks. Not hiding, but like is there in the rocks, right?
You can see its feet. It seems to be laying down on a kind of like a mat of dead grass and hay.
Is it alive?
You can hear snoring.
Okay. Well, I know this commotion is going to wake it up, so I'm going to run a little bit over this way.
Okay, Hark,
And-
Hark will get an attack of opportunity on you. And so
That
would
is
the
bad.
giant rat. If you move out of that square.
Okay, my AC is +2, so you know what? Let's test that.
You gonna do it?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go up to
Gambling girl.
Gambling. Let's go. Let's get a giant rat attack in here first. As the giant rat
Wait,
is
why am I-
going to try to bite you very quickly.
Hold
as
up. Why
you
am I?
are-
Why am I +14? Why is it at 9 right now?
Oh, I think a lot of equipment broke with the update.
Yeah.
Okay,
there's
well-
a new.
I had to like
14.
re-add my armor to get it to.
It did not whisper the roll, but I rolled a 13, so that is not going to hit you with your shield of faith. So as the rat goes to bite, it just its face gets deflected off of this divine energy that just all of a sudden appears as it's trying to attack you. The next person to attack you is Hark himself, as he sees you and now it realizes this is all a ruse. And a Never Whisper rolls. Fantastic. He is going to quickly get out his scimitar and try to swipe you with a slash attack. And he is also going to miss as the scimitar grazes off of the side wall, leaving a nice fine line where the blade scratched the wall.
So
So
I want to
you
like
can-
Mission Impossible it and just kind of like whoosh,
Awesome.
Nice.
duck
yeah.
down over the thing, and then when I land perfectly, I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon and create a lasso rope thing. I would like to lasso up the ogre and keep him grappled.
The ogre inside the stalagmites here.
Yes, because I don't know if he's awake or not, and I don't want him to wake up, and I don't want him to be able to move, so I want him to stay put, so he is grappled.
That's a good idea, but let me check the rulings on spiritual weapons really quick. I think there
Okay,
are
because it was
some-
an idea, but it might not work, so you know, it's cool, it's
a-
whatever.
It's a
I think
good idea. I just want to double check the ruling on it. Spiritual weapon. You create a floating spectral weapon within range that lasts for the duration or until you cast a spell again. Cast a spell, you make a melee against a creature. As a bonus
I can
action,
do
you
whatever I
move the weapon is 20 feet. Okay. Here is what I will let you do. It says, as a bonus action on your turn, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet. You can use it to lasso, but you will definitely not be able to move your spiritual weapon with the ogre grappled. So basically, I'm giving you the option. You can grapple him with a lasso, but you won't be able
Okay.
to move it as your bonus action,
I know.
like the spell says.
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that, I just, yeah, okay.
I'm just imagining your next move is to pick him up with the lasso and swing him around. And drive him.
That's next level.
Because
That's
just-
what she has planned for Gum Gum in
I'm
a couple
being-
of minutes.
I'm being proactive dungeon master because immediately in my head I was like, that's what I would do.
Oh my gosh.
Like, make him hold still. I want to turn it into like a spiritual version of Callista's grasping vine thing. So if I could like turn that, but into like a whip and just grapple him, that'd be super.
You know what? For tying that into the story, you know what? Go ahead and give yourself your point of DM's inspiration back.
Nice,
For
DB,
tying
nice.
in another RP story element to our stream tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna need it.
Callista's so proud right now.
So I need you to make a spell attack against this ogre.
Cool.
You have advantage
I already
because you
I
have
should've got
advantage.
information.
Okay, so there it is. Oh, so the 17 is your attack.
Yeah, I already rolled it twice. I thought it was an informational thing. I
Oh,
thought I
yeah,
could
it's
just.
24 actually. Her first roll was 24.
Her first
I
roll
mean,
is a
I did
24.
that like 2 hours before I made the roll,
Gotcha,
but you
gotcha,
know,
gotcha.
because I thought it was displaying
okay.
information.
Okay, so you so the 17 is the one that we're counting. Is that right?
I mean, sure, I threw that one out too before anything.
The 17
but, you know,
is good.
let's just go with
17
the
is a hit. So
It's a
yes,
hit anyway.
Yeah. The lasso doesn't have any problem wrapping around, and also while it lassos around him, it does some damage. So it does.
Do I get?
It's you do 1d8 plus your spell casting ability modifier. So whatever it is, what's on the top of your spell casting sheet, there should be like a +4, +5, or whatever it is.
Is that spell attack bonus?
Yeah, your spell attack bonus.
Okay.
Shouldn't it
so
auto-
1d8.
Shouldn't it auto roll if you
Yeah.
just click
Yeah,
spiritual weapon?
Yeah, go ahead and click spiritual weapon and see if it does.
Oh yeah, I see like
Yeah, it's +6.
Yeah, see it down where it says in the chat queue to the right of Roll20. Just click on spiritual weapon there. There you go.
There you go.
All
that's lame.
right. So yeah, you definitely are able to lasso this one up, and you do 7 points of force damage as it abruptly wakes up and goes. Ugh, ugh. And that's all you hear coming from in between all those stalactites. As
I did a cool thing, guys.
and you still have some.
Woke up the ogre.
You still have some movement left if you'd like to use it.
Oh, lit. I will use it to run further away because I'm a fragile little half elf that has the lowest health out of everyone.
Okay. And that will bring
All
us to Gum Gum, who sees everything that's happening, runs up past Lachlan, splashing into this water with her scimitar raised, and takes a swing at Hark. So here comes Gum Gum's attack with a scimitar.
Ooh.
And that, Hark notices Gum Gum splashing through the water next to him and is able to quickly dodge out of the way from the attack. Gum Gum gets a very shocked expression on her face as she is starting to doubt her decision to try to overthrow Hark and become queen of this goblin tribe. Then we go to another creature who hears commotion going on but is unable to see too much over a lot of these tall stalagmites in the middle of the cave, and begins to descend off of this area, off of this platform. So this goblin quickly is going to take 2 of its movement to drop down and move to about there, and is kind of dashing because not really sure what's happening, so he's going to take his other movement and start barking something in Goblin towards the ogre that's relaxing in the mud bath. And as that happens, the ogre in the mud bath kind of looks awkwardly up and goes, "Hey, whoa," and starts to climb out of the mud and starts moving this way, dragging his massive great club behind him.
Which one?
There's
Which
2,
one?
BB. There's 2.
There's 2?
It's
oh, boy.
the second one.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Something.
Am I
The one that's coming right at you.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Just wanted to check movement speed really quick. Oh, they're actually kind of fast. And coming around the corner, sees Diana.
Lit.
Points towards Diana and holds up his massive great club. And he is actually going to use the rest of his movement to he's actually going to run up towards you. He's going to expend his dash just to get right up next to you, Diana. And there is a massive ogre standing above you, very tall, a very large creature that is just dripping wet with all this mud. Doesn't appear to be wearing any pants. And, and has a large, crude-looking, mud-covered great club, and is pulling it up above his head as
Phrasing.
Oh!
Oh god.
This is all JJ's fault.
Yeah.
So Hark decides to take a swing at the bear that gashed into his left arm. So he is going to take 2 attacks, as he can make 2 multi-attacks with his scimitar towards the bear. Here's the first.
Nope.
And the second. Did the second roll?
That's it. Yeah, that hits.
All right.
The second one hits.
So the first one swings by. The bear is able to dodge out of the way, and then driving and piercing this time kind of just drives the scimitar into the bear Callista's flesh, dropping some of its bare blood out onto the cave floor. And at that point, Hark is going to... Hark is actually going to... Let me check something. I think they can. Yes. Is going to use his bonus action to take the disengage action.
Oh!
And he is going to run this way.
We sure are all gonna
Okay. And that will end his turn. And it'll take us to another one of these goblins who actually moves just the slightest bit and fires an arrow at Diana.
Excuse me?
As he pulls back his short bow and fires.
Nope.
And that one zings over top of Diana's head as Diana just looks at the ogre in shock and still standing in front of her. And we've got another goblin who is across the way, cannot really see what's going on, so is going to take 2, 5, and then sprint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and seeing the commotion in this hallway is going to start screaming and yelling in Goblin. That brings us to this goblin who steps forward and fires an arrow at the giant bear that attacked Hark. So this goblin fires a short bow shot, and here it comes, zinging down towards the bear and strikes the ground next to Callista, shattering the arrow into 4 or 5 pieces. It's Lachlan's turn.
Oh boy.
Lachlan, you still look like Pojo. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I do look like Pojo, don't I? I'm gonna try.
Stumpy in chat says goblins are bae. That's awesome.
Gum's bay.
If I still look like Pojo, I'm actually gonna try to run after Hark.
Okay. Excellent.
So I think, let's see, that's
Thank
like
you.
5, 10. So, like, if I run by this rat, am I provoking an attack of opportunity?
Technically no, because that rat believes you to be an ally.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I can get... Oh, wow, with 25 movement, I can get right up next to Hark, I think? Or did I get that wrong?
Where were you at? Where did you start?
I started here.
Okay, so you could go
Probably
5,
there.
10, 15, 20. You could get to there, yes. You'd be like tight roping the edge of this cliff, like where it has that little face, but yeah.
All right, let's do it. And I'm gonna look helpful while I'm doing it for a second. And I'm gonna stab Hark.
You gonna stab Hark? Awesome.
Get it!
Yeah.
So Hark, as Hark is running, there is another goblin chasing Hark.
And I'm gonna like et tu, Brute, and then short sword him.
All right, and that will hit.
You aren't kidding.
And Hark, not realizing what is happening, it gets a piercing pain in his back as the short sword is driven into him as he's running away from combat. Go ahead and roll your damage. Oh! And as you pull out the short sword, you notice a large streak of blood pouring down the back of Hark, down the back of his leg. And he reaches back and grabs his back, and he turns around and just starts to growl at you. And he's like, Pojo!
For Queen Gum Gum! And then that's the end of my turn.
Yes!
Hashtag
I shout that really
for
loud. Yeah.
Queen Gum Gum. Yes. Awesome. And that brings us to Malfin, who is still invisible, seeing the chaos unfold in front of him.
Just thinking, dear God, these stupid kids are going to get me killed.
Yep. Yes, we are.
Okay, as he's looking around, let's see.
Yep, I agree with you, JJ. Name in the episode right there is for Queen Gum Gum.
Molfin is actually going to take 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. Molfin is going to slowly make his way right up here, so he's right beside Lachlan and Diana, and lean his transparent head right next to Lachlan. And just very quietly
Something feels weird.
Now, fire an arrow at the head of that big thing in front of Diana. And after saying that, he's going to take...
Roger.
At that, he just takes 5 steps back. And then I'm going to hold my action until I see Lachlan's arrow in flight.
Oh, okay. Make sure you remind me of that, Matthew.
Yep.
I will. I am a forgetful DM. I will forget that. All right.
I will not.
You guys start to hear a large creature stand up in the middle of the room. And you can see, peering over a few of these stalagmites in the room, is a large ogre. This one has a little bit of hair on the top of its head, very curly hair. And it looks female. And it's even bigger than the one standing in front of Diana. But this one has this weird, glowing, divine lasso wrapped around it. And it's sitting there going... And it's just moving back and forth, trying to get itself untangled. And it actually rams itself into one of these stalagmites, and you see the stalagmite just crumple into like pieces of rock that start to roll across the cave floor as it is just like flipping out in there, like trying to get broken loose of this thing. So that will be its turn. Callista the bear, you're next.
I'm going straight for Hark.
Okay.
Get him.
Yep. So I'm gonna go around.
If you go past the giant rat, it's gonna. Well, actually, it used its reaction already.
If I go around, because bear has.
The rat already used its reaction, so it cannot. Okay. It used it on Diana.
Did you have favorite girl?
I'm gonna. Yep. Oh, multi-attack again.
Here we go.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
As you're approaching, you see Hark start to get wide-eyed, and he gets his shield ready with his sword in one hand, and he gets his wooden goblin shield. And
So, that was a natural 20.
Die!
Callista, you don't even have to roll damage. Go ahead and describe your kill for us.
Yes.
Remember that orc?
Yes.
His face is gone. His head comes off. I want his head to just flop off.
Yes.
So as Hark is getting ready with his shield, bracing himself for impact, he gets just overwhelmed by your pure power. As you come in, you actually bite the shield and pull it off from his hand and whip it across the room. It goes over Lachlan's head and goes flying into the middle of the room. And then with one slash, you slash his head, and all of a sudden, Lachlan, make a dexterity saving throw for me very quickly.
Oh no! What's happening here?
This is called payback?
Lachlan, the head lands right in your arms.
Throw in the air like a hot potato.
Can it hit my ogre in the head?
It rolls down next to the ogre's foot, and the ogre just stares down, still raising slowly the great club, and he just goes, "Ooh." And Callista, I believe that will end your turn.
That's it.
Oh my.
Hark's body is just laying headless on the ground in front of you with one leg twitching rapidly. So we go to another one of our goblins who actually is able to see the ogre kind of jumping around there, but he is going to move a little bit over to here, and he actually can probably get a shot off at somebody. Well,
Oh.
well, he's gonna take a shot at.
But I can't see him, so do I have cover? Is it disadvantage?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 3/4 cover, so you have a +5 on your AC right now. So what is your AC normally?
Well, my normal or the bear normal?
It would be the bear normal.
11.
11, so +5 would be 16 to hit you.
Woo!
And he does not. So it goes sailing. It actually hits one of these stalagmites that you're behind, and it deflects off that and just kind of comes to a halt at the bottom of the floor. So that is his turn. It takes us to the giant rat, who is seeing all this happen, decides to run towards Diana, and actually is.
I think that can run away.
And actually.
Oh,
He was running away.
actually bumps into Muffin as it comes to try to sneak up on the back of Diana. How does invisibility work when a creature bumps into you?
I have
an
no
attack,
idea.
so
Wow.
I don't think it affects it.
So the rat just kind of bumps into Muffin. It doesn't just kind of does a double take, and then just goes, since it's a rat and it's not very smart, it just goes about its business and tries to bite Diana. But it does have advantage since it is flanking with the ogre. So let's see.
Okay.
Find my giant rat. Giant rat, where are you? There you are.
It only says it ends if I attack or cast a spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What? At least one of the rat's allies. Oh. Yeah, this would have advantage anyway because of pack tactics. So there's an advantage for this bite. Ooh. So yes, Diana, you feel a piercing pain in the back of your left thigh as these fangs dig into your flesh, dealing 3 piercing damage to you. And we're at the top of the round with Moby again. As Moby is now across the way.
Oh, damn.
The dwarf Morak sent you across the gap.
Him and Gum Gum just hanging it out back, you know.
Good throw.
Stumpy on chat says,
All right, I'm going to round this
hashtag
corner.
bring Hark back.
That's gonna be difficult.
He already doesn't like
Too
Queen
late.
Gum Gum, and he doesn't even know what her views are on anything.
That's fine.
She's very
That's
democratic.
okay.
Pretty sure that's Jamie.
This goblin stuff, I tell you, it's gotten way political in our campaign.
So politically inclined.
I blame Diana.
We're a
Solely
political
Diana's fault.
intrigue campaign now.
Yes.
I'm a role player.
Gum Gum's going to be rule and favoring soon. That's how it's going to work.
Yep.
All right, Moby.
All right, I'm going to round this corner. Oh my lord, I can see some stuff.
Oh yeah, you can see a
Holy
lot of stuff
moly.
happening. What you can't see is Muffin trying to get out of the way as this rat just almost tripped him up.
You see a rat sort of like crawling
See
over
that,
air.
that's true. Bit confused. All right. Look, Diana looks like she's in a bit of a tough time. I'm gonna go around this rat and try and take on this biggest threat here.
All right.
And you know what? Since Calista was dropping crits, I'm gonna drop a crit. Let's use that natural 20.
Oh, yeah. Using the nat
And
20.
I'm gonna whip this big ogre into shape.
All right, so it's an automatic hit as you crit on the ogre. It hits him right in the face, right in the nose. Go ahead and roll your damage and double your die roll for that.
Beautiful.
for your critical hit.
And you know what? I'm gonna smite him too.
Whoa,
Slide.
what?
Not
Let's do
only
some-
not only
let's
does
do
it hit
some
him right in the
sliding.
nose, but as that whip cracks into his face, this flash of divine light just shines through the weapon and just impacts him for so much more. So go ahead and roll your damage as if it were a critical hit, plus your smites.
Oh.
So you get to add an additional die to that.
That's
That's
another
okay.
D4.
That's good.
And then
And
you
it's
add-
2d8, and I
Roll
believe
whip
smite
again.
is double too.
What's that?
Smite is
Yes.
doubled as well when you get a crit, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. So 2d8
Yeah.
times 2. So go ahead and roll 4d8.
Holy hell.
There's one. Go ahead and roll your other one. Oh my goodness.
What?
That's good.
So that's an extra
That's
1, 20,
good.
22 and 9.
22 and 9 as this whip cracks into the face with this bright flash. And you can see as the whip comes back to you, Moby, that the nose of this creature is completely broken. Blood is pouring down its face. The front teeth, what it had left of teeth, are pretty much shattered and falling out. There is just, it's already starting to bruise its entire face as it's just sitting there, one hand up
Right
on
there,
its
that
face, going, "Ugh." And you guys could hear the whip crack echo through the cave.
Whew.
Nice.
Whew. That
Wow.
felt good. That felt good. All right,
Yep.
I'm done.
Is that-
We'll leave it at that.
Are you sure, Moby?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, Moby uses his nat 20 to inflict a lot of pain upon the ogre standing in front of him. Diana,
Oh my gosh.
the
I
ogre,
just go from
the ogre
Persuasion.
looks in a lot of pain, and you notice that there's a large rat behind you trying to gnaw your leg off.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, reaction to that is ow, because like rude. But yeah, it's okay. So it's like I go from just looking at this ogre with extreme fear to looking at Moby like, what? And then I want to. Is it possible to blind someone with light?
Touch one on
I'm such a rule breaker.
No, but you can blind them with science. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Yes, viewers. Matthew just went there. He did. Yes.
He blinded me with science.
I'm old.
This light probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't be bright enough to blind him.
Okay.
It may be
It
more
sounds
of a.
like
It may be more of a distraction.
Just gut him like a fish. You got a sword, stab him.
That's
Yo,
true.
pokey,
That's
pokey.
I wanna-
Persuade the goblins to
cantrip?
tell them to back off.
Okay. So, I mean, it says it has to make a dexterity saving throw. You know what? I'll just. Oh man. What am I gonna do?
Stumpy's next character is going to be a goblin in memory of Hark.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay. I will not take a few steps back. I will. Oh my gosh, do I have anything that? See, there was this one thing that was like make people like you or whatever, and I was like, oh, I don't need that.
Like was it like charm, like a charm spell or something like that?
Charm,
Friend.
spell, friendship, something that sounds
Friendship, maybe, yeah, friendship.
like. But those have disadvantage on, or they have advantage on the saving throw when they're in combat.
Ah, yes, good point.
Okay, I know that I'm going to get extreme disadvantage on this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Since Hark is dead, and that was our main goal, I would like to step out and make a political speech in favor of Gum Gum and her rulership.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Okay, I'll just step out and people,
Oh my
stop
god.
fighting. Listen to me, okay? And okay. Listen, Hark is dead. You no longer have this oppressive dictatorship
upon you anymore, alright? No more nuclear war, okay? What's gonna happen instead is we're here now. I'm alluding to North Korea, that's the joke. Anyways. We are here now. We represent freedom and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, dang it. We're gonna give you better education. We're going to give you better food. Foods that are not humans. No, foods that are actually food. And we are going to bring back healthcare, universal healthcare. That
Go ahead, Diana. Go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
Wait.
Pojo cheers. Pojo goes, yeah!
Okay, make it a normal persuasion check. Now that Pojo, a goblin.
Wait, I'm pointing. You get free healthcare. You get free healthcare. Free healthcare. You get free healthcare.
Oh my god.
You just can't eat humans anymore. That's not protected on your coverage.
No.
Okay,
Humans sometimes.
Your 6-second speech is up. Go ahead and roll your persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The large ogre in front of you starts to scratch his head and wipes more blood off of his nose. And he looks very angry as he looks towards Moby over there, and then looks back to you and says, "What?"
Free healthcare, bro.
He doesn't really seem to understand anything you just said.
It was a good try.
And that brings us to Gum Gum, who runs up, seeing and hearing Diana pleading for free healthcare.
A cleric
Runs
thing.
up. Runs up behind the rat that just was latching on to Diana's leg and makes a scimitar attack against the rat. And will have advantage on this because technically it's being flanked. So the goblin is going to
Flank,
try...
that thing is trapped. That's got somebody on every
yeah.
side of it, even if it doesn't know it.
So here comes the scimitar attack with advantage from Gum Gum. And that will crit.
Oh!
And as Gum Gum walks behind, Gum Gum actually splits the rat in half. And the rat no longer lives and detaches its bite. And Gum Gum hollers at Diana. "You talk too much! Queen Gum Gum! Queen Gum Gum, lead goblins!"
That's all she wanted to hear.
and that ends Gum Gum's turn. Actually, Gum Gum is going to use the rest of her movement to start heading in, well, bump into Mulfin and kind of get right in between Lachlan and Diana. As she bumps into Mulfin, she just hears a little and she's, "What?
No respect for my station."
And that brings us up to another one of these goblins that is still moving. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh wait, I forgot to take my
5.
damage off. Oh.
Can see Diana and
Hello.
goes ahead and makes a short bow attack against Diana as an arrow goes flying at Diana. And that's going to pierce into Diana's stomach for 5 points of piercing damage as this arrow flies into her.
How are
Then
you, Diana?
the ogre finishes raising his great club above Diana and brings it down on top of Diana. And I believe he gets to make 2 of these attacks. No, he does not.
Oh my god.
Let me change.
This is what Diana gets for not just stabbing you.
Yeah.
Ogre left me.
Here comes the ogre down on Diana. No longer has advantage because nobody's flanking.
Lucky.
And Diana,
Misses. Yes.
after getting that arrow in the stomach, stumbles back just the slightest bit out of the range of the giant club as it slams into the ground. Some of the mud splatters up and hits you in the face, Diana, and covers some of your garments as it slams and actually breaks parts of the wood off of... Is that a happy 21st birthday sign, JJ?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay. So, the ogre is just going to start growling towards Moby and Diana. And that would have brought us to Hark, but Hark is dead. So I'm going to take Hark off. Then we go to another goblin this goblin is going to take an arrow. The one standing on this pedestal about 10 feet away from Callista is going to shoot a short bow at Callista. It pulls back an arrow and lets it fly towards the giant brown bear.
Oh, just hits.
Just hits, and you feel a piercing coming down on you from your back as this arrow sinks into your flesh. And that'll end its turn. The goblin back here is going to continue to move. Actually, is going to take one step forward, knock an arrow, and fire it towards Moby.
Good luck.
So here comes the arrow flying through the air in the cave towards Moby. And I don't believe a 13 is going to hit you, Moby.
But I got a 20, so...
Oh my goodness. So this arrow, what kind of armor are you wearing, Moby?
I'm not wearing any armor. I will link you to what is going on.
Okay. This ought to be interesting.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Nice.
Damn.
Wow. Armor of peace. So basically, this arrow goes flying at you, and it's odd. It just like bounces off of you, and just it bends the arrow, and it just bounces off and starts to just skitter across the floor of the cave. And the goblin back here is just like, ah! And it was pretty confident that it hits you from that range. It's completely surprised. This one raining down above is actually, this one's going to fire. Seeing that Pojo tried, or actually stabbed Hark in the back, this one moved. This one is going to move and fire down towards Lachlan, who looks like Pojo to him, but fires down. And
doesn't quite hit.
And Lachlan, you're able to catch this happening as the goblin gets close, pulls the arrow back, and fires it. You're able to dodge out of the way, and the arrow just strikes the ground and breaks. And Lachlan, that brings us up to you.
All right. I want to get my short bow ready, following Gramps' advice as I yell like, Hark, weak! Follow Queen Gum Gum or die! And then I see that there's like a big ogre kind of that hasn't joined us yet. I think the one that's all lassoed.
Uh-huh.
And I want to send an arrow his way.
Oh, so it's the middle ogre?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle one.
All
and
right.
use my DM inspiration here.
All right, DM's inspiration, so advantage on this
Is
attack.
Wolfen doing his thing?
Yep, I'm waiting for him to roll it.
Alrighty.
Let's loose the arrow. As it leaves, you can see the arrow flying through the air, Mulfin. What happens to this arrow as it's flying through the air?
So as it goes flying through the air, Mulfin, and why is this not? It's not.
excited.
Let me roll it that way for some reason. I'm going to Mulfin casts darkness on the arrow.
Oh, wow.
This is amazing. I love you two so much.
This is amazing. So as Molfin is casting, all of a sudden he starts to reappear in front of everyone. Because as soon as you cast a spell, you dispel the invisibility, right?
Yeah, invisibility's gone the second that comes
Right.
out of my mouth.
So you guys can hear these incantations, and all of a sudden, just fading back into view, Moby, Molfin is like almost right next to you, citing these incantations as this arrow goes through the air.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh my god, the carrot row. Wow.
Hark. Oh, we could change it to Hark the Herald Goblin sing. I mean, would it be a... We could do that. As Stumpy says, as Hark dies, he turns and says, "I had a family."
Yeah, it was Diana.
I'm sure Gum Gum will have good welfare programs.
As Lachlan is holding Hark's head, Hark is just starts moving its mouth and saying, "Diana, my cousin, betrayed me." Awesome. We have like the best viewers in the entire universe, I tell you. Twitch chat has been amazing tonight. All right. So this arrow all of a sudden is consumed by this just absolute darkness as it flies through the air and strikes this beast. Go ahead and roll your damage for that, Lachlan.
All right. And by the way, Lachlan looks more surprised than anybody.
Guys, now this arrow that he just fired is encompassed by a 30-foot globe of darkness. It's a 15-foot radius.
And it strikes. So that's a you said a 15-foot radius?
15-foot radius.
All right, I'm gonna go.
So
ahead
it's
and
literally a 30-foot sphere.
Oh gosh!
I'm gonna put an aura of 15 feet around this creature. So there is complete darkness resonating from the arrow, which is now stuck in the ogre in the center.
Oh my god!
Oh.
That is pretty amazing.
Oh. I sort of high five Gramps.
Morphin looks a little confused, but doesn't matter. Excellent shot.
And as you say that, Molfin, you hear from right above you somebody say, "Hey, where'd you come from?"
Oh yeah, there's.
And Lachlan, is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn?
Turnover.
Turnover, got it. And we go to Molfin.
Okay, now hearing that fun little person right above my head, Molfin is going to turn up and... Who are you up there? And fire off a firebolt at him.
All right.
Get him.
Oh, yes, nice. I love
Whoa!
the effects.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
What?
The fire beams up towards the goblin and strikes him right in the face as he is questioning him. Go ahead and roll your damage for us, please.
It even went in the right direction.
I don't know
Team
why
totally
that's not
shook.
showing up on Michael's screen.
Oh,
Team
is
That
Salt is
really depresses me.
it showed up on my screen?
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah,
That
I
one
saw it.
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
no.
it.
Yeah, they saw it.
Thank the stars.
Yeah, it showed up on our Twitch as well. So
Oh
yeah,
my
you
gosh.
you hit the goblin with a mighty bit of force as the fire kind of breaks apart into sparks, shooting off of the goblin. The goblin stumbles back a bit and has burn marks all over some bubbling parts of the flesh, but is still standing above you, Molfin. Anything else
And
that you would
how
like to do?
high above me is he?
About 10, 12 feet.
Okay, perfect. Not in melee range.
Yeah, they're
And
out
with
there.
that, Molfin is going to take off and say, I'm just going to, yes. Take off running this way.
Accurate.
That
So in
was
character.
great. So in character. I love it. I love it, Molfin. Molfin, do you already have DM's inspiration?
Yeah, from last week.
Okay, okay.
I was going to burn it, but didn't need to, luckily.
Okay. Now that brings us up to the large ogre in the middle that just got is now consumed by darkness, and all you can hear is this. What else does darkness do? Let me double check this. Oh, you already got it. Magical darkness spreads from the point which you choose. Phil. A creature with dark vision can't see through the darkness. Non-magical light. The point completely covered in the source of darkness. Pick object held. Spell overlaps an area. So basically, this ogre sees nothing but black, and just starts to stumble around. You can hear it crashing into all these stalagmites, and just you can just hear it crashing around in here. You hear stones just rolling around the floor of the cave. You hear a as it seems to be still pinned by Diana's magical weapon. Whoa, is that magical weapon? Is that concentration?
I hope not.
Was magical weapon concentration?
I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is because it's an extended effect.
Okay, Diana, you need to make a.
It's actually not. Spiritual weapon does not list concentration in the handbook.
Oh,
excellent. No,
nice.
That's why it's so good.
Good spell.
Pretty sweet.
I love it in chat. Turns out the goblin's long-term goal was actually peace, and now you're killing them all. Who's the real monster here? I love it.
People on either
I'm
side.
going to say Diana is. This is all her plan.
Our cleric, man.
The cleric. It's always the cleric.
Our life cleric.
I want to thank you viewers so much for tuning in tonight. We've got a great group of viewers and subscribers joining us tonight. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and watching the show and chiming in on chat. We love to hear from you. That ends that creature's turn as it is just frantically flipping out in the middle of the area, just breaking into stalagmites, not able to see a thing. Callista, that brings us up to you.
Right.
You have fresh Hark blood all over you.
Bear
And another tasty goblin north of you.
I don't think I can get up there though. He's on a platform, yeah.
You could.
Oh, I meant Pojo.
It would. You could climb it. It would.
Although you did piss Callista off. No, I won't do that.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not that mean. Yeah, is this guy on a platform?
Yeah, he's about 10 feet above on a platform.
Okay, then I'm just gonna go for the ogre.
Oh yeah.
Okay, nice. It's gonna move by there. Yes, you can go there.
Because I see that he's been tearing into Diana.
Yeah, he's trying to squash Diana.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So 1, 2.
All right. Let's see. Where's my ogre sheet? I had my ogre sheet out. Here you are, ogre. Those were both going to hit. So as you come up, you sink your flesh into his fatty side and then take and slash across his stomach. Go ahead and roll your damage for both attacks.
Okay, 1d8. 1, 2, 6.
All right. As you sink your teeth and claws into the ogre starts to stumble back from you. Now, seeing this large bear that's almost the size of the ogre start to just... Bro, Callista just goes nuts and starts to brawl right into the ogre's face. The ogre seems a little shocked at first, trying to get clear vision from the blood and just the bruises all over his face from that massive whip to the face from Moby. And Callista, you still have some movement left if you'd like to move away, or you can stay put.
Is there any way that I could get myself between Diana and the ogre? Like, without... Like, if I just, like...
If you would have used, like, your action to either shove him or, like, grapple him and move him, you could have. But since you already attacked, you're so big, too, that it'd be hard to do that.
Then I'll just stay where I am for now.
Okay, gotcha. Now it'll bring us up to another one of these goblin creatures who gets a shot. Well, it's going to try the same thing, Callista, but you're still going to have that +5 to your AC because he's trying to fire through these stalagmites over here. So this is going to be I believe it's a 16 it's got to get. And that is going to strike the stalagmite again. You can just hear the goblin kind of cursing in goblin across the cave. Our giant rat friend is dead, so I can remove him. And at this point, we are at the top of the round. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to go ahead and take a break in our action tonight since we're at like almost 10 till 10. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and open up our raffle before we go ahead and take a break and get some drinks and use the restroom. So our raffle tonight includes a few, since we're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed tonight, we've got a few trinkets that I picked up at Toys R Us, some stackable mystery figures and surprise minifigures here. I've got those. Yeah, we've got some Ninja Turtle minifigures. It's awesome, man. I tell you what, I used to collect stuff like that all the time. And we also got some green Dungeons and Dragons dice that we're gonna send your way. I used to. Now my kids just steal it all.
Yeah, keyword.
I used to. My kids, my kids steal all my stuff, man. I tell you, I get cool toys.
Yeah, blame the kids. All right.
They get it someday, you know.
Yes. I'm going to blame my kids. They deserve it, right?
Right.
They always do.
They always do.
Yep,
they deserve it for that
Oh.
giant headache they gave me earlier. They deserve it. Excellent. Well, we're going to go ahead and open up that raffle. In order to get yourself entered into the raffle, all you will have to do is type in !raffle as soon as I open it up, which I'm going to do right now. We're going to go ahead and open that raffle. And the raffle is now open, so all you have to do to enter our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles raffle tonight is put an ! In the Twitch chat with raffle right next to it to get yourself automatically entered into that raffle for tonight. So make sure you guys do that. We are going to take a short 5 to 7 minute break here, and we'll get back into the action as...
Don't forget.
What was that?
Lost Artifacts of Grey Gust. Check out, there should be a link on the chat. Awesome book, full of magic items for your 5e campaign. So give it a check out. You can buy it on PDF, or you can be like me and get the hardcover. So be sure to check that out. Fantastic program.
Stupid caps lock.
Yeah, there is. I just put the link to that book in the chat, and we've got some people that are entering into our raffle already.
So thick.
Yeah.
So you guys can check out that book, Lost Artifacts of Greygast, and go ahead and click on that link, and it will take you there. Go ahead and get yourself entered into that raffle, and we're going to take a short break, and we will see you all back here in just a moment. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Storm King's Thunder right here on Proficiency Bonus. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to the stream of Storm King's Thunder, everybody, right here on Proficiency Bonus. We are so glad that you are joining us tonight. If you haven't gotten a chance, you've been watching the show and you haven't gotten a chance to hit that follow button right above, go ahead and hit that follow button. We are at a point in our epic battle tonight where it seems as if our heroes are gaining a slight advantage over the goblins and the ogres right here in the midst of the dripping caves. As we go back to the top of the round, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll play one more round. We still got that raffle open for right now. So if you didn't get a chance to enter a raffle, just hit !raffle in the Twitch chat and you will be invited or added into our random raffle drawing for tonight of a few Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle gifts and a green set of Dungeons & Dragons dice. So make sure you do that. And right after this round, we will go ahead and we will draw our winner. So we'll go back to Moby. What would you like to do, Moby?
All right, now that I've whipped this beautiful, beautiful creature into shape, I'm gonna pull my little slingshot out of my pocket and try and boom, right up the nose.
All right.
I just broke.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna strike him right in the same broken nose, the same spot, literally the same spot you hit him with the whip. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Look, I just want to smite this guy, so that's what I'm gonna do. Another smite.
Gonna smite him again.
Wow.
So as this little rock flies out of the sling, it starts to glow with this radiant energy and slams into his face with such a massive impact. Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
For another 18 points of damage. Moby, what does this look like as the ogre falls to the ground?
Alright, okay. Alright.
Oh.
Here's the thing.
Oh.
It looks like he's going to start to topple, but all of a sudden his eyes kind of glaze over. And, Michael, I will just put this up for you so you know what's going on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Give me a quick read of that.
Favorite simple tools. While wielding a simple weapon that deals bludgeoning damage, you get a special benefit if you uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Points with that weapon and decide to spare the creature's life. Instead of falling unconscious, the creature is charmed by you for 1 minute.
Wow.
During that
Typical
time,
Moby.
During that time, the charmed creature is peaceful and docile, refusing to move or take actions or reactions unless you command it to. You can't order the creature to attack, force someone to make a saving throw, or cause damage to itself or others. This charmed effect ends early. So basically, you're deciding to let him live, and he is
under my command.
He's basically under your command. Interesting.
What?
So his eyes kind of like
Wow.
glaze over a little bit, and I just like kind of move up towards him, and I'm gonna put my just my hand like wherever I can reach on his kneecap, I guess it would be. I'm just gonna like say to everyone, don't hurt him. He's with me. It's fine. Trust me. And I'm gonna look up at him and just be like, those people in the pit, can you please go fetch them out of there? Just, hoist them up, because they're gonna have a little trouble getting up that 10-foot ledge.
Just with the glazed over look in his eyes, looks down at you, Moby. Kind of, it's the blood still pouring out of his nose, and goes, "Oh," and shakes his head.
And if you do a good job, I'm gonna heal you back up, and you'll be fine, as long as you don't, attack me afterwards.
It seems to be agreeing with everything you say.
All right.
All right, that brings us to Diana. Yeah, what he just said. that's what you witnessed.
I'll tell y'all what, my face hurts from smiling so much because y'all are so funny.
And I agree with Stumpy on his nickname. I'm just putting that out there.
Who heard that? Who just heard that fall down?
I did.
Because that sure was great.
I heard something like really
Yeah.
fall.
That was, apparently my extension cord was wrapped around my radio player, and the entire thing just came down along with pictures and frame.
Oh no!
And I have downstairs neighbors, and now I feel very connected because it's 9 o'clock, and they're probably sleeping.
Our stinking
There's a
neighbor
battle
plays
going on
Dungeons and
upstairs.
Dragons.
They have to roll a perception check to even hear it.
That's it. Yeah.
Roll for stealth.
Wow.
Can we roll for the old neighbors, please? I want to see if they heard anything.
Look, I got a 0 perception, so I'll roll it.
Okay, so here, I'll roll a d20 and we'll see if you heard. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Hang on. /R1D20. Okay, a 13. What does 13 get me?
I don't know. It depends. Do you have carpet or hardwood?
Hardwood.
Okay, they probably heard it.
That was only a 10 DC with hardwood.
Yeah. All right, Diana,
Now.
what would you like
Okay.
to do?
Okay, oh my god.
As we now make dice rolls for real life situations and everything we do.
Dude, I keep a bag of dice with me at work just for those sorts of events.
That is awesome.
Okay, since that guy is dead and I now no longer have a one-line. See, if I had killed him, I would have said, bet you wish you had free healthcare now, huh? But that didn't happen. So,
Oh, he is hurt.
He has free healthcare. He has Moby health.
he's got that Moby care. I'll turn. I will turn to my grappled one then, and I will throw a cantrip at him. I'll throw a sacred flame.
Now,
Fitting.
the darkness spell that's around this one, can all of you see her, or is it like a complete like dome
No,
of black?
It's a 30-foot sphere of just darkness.
Yeah, basically, Diana, when you look over there, all of a sudden you just see just black. Like you can't even see. You can hear the ogre in there, but you can't see her.
Okay. Okay. Then I would. We're still in the middle of combat. Then I will just take a few steps back and I will say, listen, I know that we have had some moments in the past Goblin community, but I would just like to say, gum gum for life. Nothing but respect for my president. Thank you.
Okay, that's your turn.
Gum Gum's been demoted to a president.
Queen. I was so mean. Can I do a persuasion roll?
Okay, who are you trying to persuade?
Everyone that Gum Gum is queen.
Okay, go ahead.
Yay! I'm sorry if that. I don't know.
Gogum has like an ogre on her side now, you know?
I have this inspiration. Oh, no, wait, I can't use that. Say it before.
They as you're speaking about following Queen Gum Gum, the one that's way back here in the back, it's just like, we are followers of Hark for life. That's all you hear is just. Then you hear the kind of like, as they all kind of chime in around the room, they all start almost a chant of Hark, but a couple of them realize that Hark is dead. So Gum Gum climbs up this ledge right here.
She can climb?
She climbs up the ledge, gets right up next to this goblin up top, and attempts.
She gonna push him on me?
Attempts to push him off. So we're gonna roll 2 athletics checks. The first one is gonna be Gum Gum's strength. Oh, they're not very strong.
This is so petty.
So Gum Gum's a 9.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah! Gum Gum shoves this goblin off of the ledge. And Lachlan, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw
No,
for
it's me.
us.
Thanks a lot, Gum Gum.
Come on, roll a 1. I want Lachlan wearing a goblin hat.
Well, Lachlan, you're able to dodge out of the way as this goblin slams into the ground, and just arrows go flying all around, and the goblin seems to be lying there completely motionless.
I give him a little kick.
That brings us to this other goblin who squeezes through here, approaches Moby, and takes a slash at Moby with a scimitar. And you said you were at a 20. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Goblin slashing across Moby, right across his clothes, doesn't seem to have any effect on Moby whatsoever. Goblin, kind of surprised, uses his bonus action to disengage and uses the rest of his movement to come back towards this other goblin in the back of the cave. The large ogre standing in front of Moby starts to move around Moby and starts heading towards where the villagers are being held. And now Molfin all of a sudden starts to see this large ogre bleeding on his face with a glazed expression on his face, stumbling towards him as he's coming
What?
near.
Would Molfin have heard
Yeah,
Moby talking about this?
yeah, you would have. You're only you're only about 25 feet away, so yeah, you would have heard. And that will end his turn as he's slumping over there. Another goblin is going to. This one's up top here. Is going to fire an arrow at Lachlan. Down towards Lachlan. And here comes the arrow as it fires.
Reach.
That hits.
That will strike.
Oh.
Yeah, that hurts.
As Lachlan, still looking like Pojo the Goblin. Does the illusion still hold as you're in combat and getting attacked and taking damage?
That's actually a really good question. Let me see.
That's one thing I wasn't 100% sure about.
Yeah.
Is it a concentration spell?
Objects pass through
It's
it
not.
if someone's
I think it's
inspecting
like
me.
a investigation check.
Yeah,
Like they have to
yeah.
be suspicious and start looking at me, or
Well, they saw you attack Hark, so they just immediately just started going nuts on you.
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
It's not even concentration too. It just lasts for an hour.
I guess they just think I'm a traitor goblin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Traitor Goblin trying to take over. Yep. So
You
that-
were seduced by Queen Gum Gum.
Yeah. Seduced. Mm.
so
Promised of free
How
health
many
care.
girlfriends does Lachlan have?
Well, now he's got
I ain't a player, I just
goblin,
crush a lot.
half elf, a Zentarum.
So this goblin is going to rush up to Moby and attack Moby with a scimitar as it pulls its scimitar out of its leather belt, slashes at, and does absolutely nothing to Moby as Moby is still standing tall. Ugh.
Incredible.
Look, you got to try better than that. I mean, really. How many times have you tried this?
So the goblin is going to use its bonus action to disengage again and take 2 steps back, using the rest of its movement. That brings us to... Oh, this goblin is dead. That brings us to Lachlan.
All right. The goblin that shot Pojo just now, I'm going to yell at him like, Hark's goblins die, Gum Gum's goblins live, and then I'm going to shoot him.
All right. And that will just hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. It strikes him, and the arrow shoots into his chest, but he is still standing at the top of that ledge, stumbling a bit, bleeding from the wound.
It's my
He
turn.
is still up. That ends your turn, and brings us to Mulfin, who has retreated
Who
back
is now somewhat panicking as this giant is approaching. Oh, Molfin, is he big enough that Molfin can sort of walk just between his legs to get on past him?
Oh, yeah.
You might get bumped.
It's been happening to him all day anyway. Okay. So
MG. Cheeky boy.
Molfin is going to use his whole movement to move back down towards the group.
Okay.
And then as he gets down there, sort of look back a little ways towards the two annoying little buggers who keep running down and poking at people. Just go, you two really should sit down. And put a square of grease right on this 10-foot cube right here.
Alright. So we've got some grease happening right here, right?
Yep, so basically the 10-foot square. Yep, exactly.
So all of a sudden this grease appears. So they instantly make these saving throws, or when they move? Let's
Yep, a
see.
creature that when the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on the dex save.
Nice. So all of a sudden this bubbling grease, dark grease appears under these goblins as they attempt to catch their balance.
Oh, wow.
As their
And
feet-
yeah, they both make it.
Oh, and they are both able to catch their balance as they're slipping a little bit, but then gain their footing and are able to stand. You continue
Oh.
to... Okay, finish. Go ahead.
Help! Anyone? Movie! Do something about those two, will you? And that'll end the turn.
You guys continue to hear the ogre in the center of this dark sphere just slamming into stalagmites, and just, you all of a sudden, out of the darkness over here, you see a couple chunks of rock just kind of fly out and roll across the floor in front of you. But that's all that happens, and takes us to Callista.
Do I know where Snigbat was?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Snigbat stayed in the area with all the rats when you guys left.
Okay.
Debating what I should do here. I don't want to kill the goblins now that Hark's dead. Okay, against my better judgment, I'm gonna use a bonus action to drop form.
Okay. So all of a sudden, Callista goes from a very large brown bear back to her half-elven drow form.
Maybe just notices the bear, like, whoa! Oh, hey! Well,
As Moby says that, Molfin startles and just goes, Grease!
And I'm gonna... I have to. Oh, Queen Gum Gum! And I'm gonna do a persuasion roll.
Alright.
I'm not great at these, but... Oh, do
Join
I have
the
inspiration?
You do? You still have yours, don't you?
Yeah.
Or did you, oh no, did you use it on your bear's attack that first time?
Oh, I
no,
did.
No, you didn't, because you had advantage.
Oh, right, it
anyway.
was sneak attack.
It
Oh,
was a
well, there you
surprise, yeah.
go. I didn't need it.
Oh, look at that!
I
Look
didn't
at
need
that. So Callista starts to speak to the goblins. What all are you saying in this speech, Callista? What are your key points here?
Put your arms down. Follow Queen Gum Gum. We'll lead you to a better future, etc., etc. pretty much just mimicking what Diana said, but in a more like aggressive tone.
Free healthcare.
And yeah, we'll give you free healthcare if you drop your weapons.
This one kind of approaches the ledge.
Get out, Queen Gum Gum!
This one kind of is like startled by that and starts shouting at you. Will Gum Gum be better than Hark?
Gum Gum has always been better than Hark.
And the goblin up top, right above, in the other side, puts down its short bow onto the ground, and then holds up one hand and says, "Queen Gum Gum."
Queen Gum Gum.
Queen Gum Gum.
The two back here slipping on the grease. One of them puts their scimitar back into the leather strap, and the other one is like, "What?" And Goblin kind of looking, questioning at what they're doing, and he raises up his hand and says, "Queen Gum Gum."
Yeah. Queen Gum
And
Gum.
you start to hear all around the room as the goblins all start to put their weapons away.
Oh, I'm having like a mini panic attack right now, guys.
Okay,
then-
but like, guys,
Pojo
we
puts
get the
his
bad
weapons away.
ogre That's over there.
Man, and
In
then
the dark.
after that, all you can hear is as all these stalagmites are just breaking apart, rocks shattering, as you can't see what's happening, but you got a pretty good idea that this thing is going crazy, just kicking whatever it runs into.
And I guess that's my turn, and I'm gonna stand beside, Diana.
This goblin over on the other side is like starts yelling over, and it's like, "Queen Gum Gum, first order of business, tame Thog," and points towards the darkness where all the noises are happening. And that ends its turn, and it goes to Moby.
Well, that's going to be a comedy of errors. I'm going to run. I'm going to run and catch up with this big, beautiful ogre, BBO. And
Yes,
No, it's just B.O. Moby.
Yo.
big, beautiful ogre.
Oh.
Trust me, I just walked on there.
Yes, people. Yes, Twitch chat. We now have BBOs.
Oh.
Big, beautiful ogres. Only right here on Proficiency
I'm a
Bonus.
visionary.
That's right.
Stumpy is on board.
Queen Gum.
I'm gonna like kind of like into the pit be like, all right, I need you to trust me. This ogre is gonna come in and he's gonna get you out. Nothing to be afraid of. Fine. Trust me.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check there, Moby.
All right, I would like this DM inspiration right now.
Nice.
Is this like quadruple disadvantage given he's having a giant ogre come in and charge in there?
Well, he rolled an 18. He rolled an 18.
Got dubs.
18 regardless.
Yeah. So, let me, surprisingly, Morak is intrigued by you and really does trust you, Moby, and looks towards
Oh, that's a first.
the people, and he's like, "Lady, I can tell that Lady Nandar had sent him. We can trust him.
Yep.
Let's hurry, but hurry quietly. We don't want to wake the bats." So they all he starts to kind of stumble down, and he starts to help all these villagers and moves them over towards the ledge where you're standing, Moby. Starts to lead them
I'm
all
gonna
in.
turn around and be like, "Okay, buddy, do your thing." Yeah.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Diana.
Okay.
So I am actually going to go to the room that has Snigbat in it. Just update her. Hang on, how far can I travel? I can go 60 feet.
Yeah, you can
This
do
is part of
60.
the trying to kill Diana plan.
I'll follow you. Don't worry.
Oh, dang it!
You're gonna have to walk the whole way around the room, or
Yes.
chance walking through the grease and through the darkness.
Yeah.
Go, like here,
I would like to die.
Down and around.
down and around.
Okay, this is 25. And then I have to do another 40. To get. I don't even know where I'm going, to be honest.
Okay.
You're going the right way.
Okay. Because I have like half of my screen blocked by the turn order, and then another half blocked by.
I think you could move turn order. Like,
I know, but it's like it's just so much
Yeah.
stuff is everywhere.
yeah.
If you zoom out, zoom out your web browser, set the resolution lower, it'll shrink everything and give you more screen space.
What?
If you're on a PC, Control minus. Oh, I'm going to reload the page, aren't I? I didn't think that through.
You're still there.
No,
This
it's adjusting
was
the screen now.
yeah,
There we go.
All right, Diana, do me a favor. You are moving through the magical darkness, so I want you to make a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Actually, let's make this a survival check, just to make sure you know where you're going.
I get lost in like 15 feet of darkness.
You walked in there.
Yes!
It's a 30-foot globe of pitch black midnight
Yeah,
death, despair, destruction. It has an ogre trying to kill everything.
But he's
Wolfgang
grappled.
Creed. I forgot about that.
All right, you do stumble a little bit through some of the large rocks that have been broken up, and you can hear the breathing of this massive creature as you're walking through the darkness, but you're able to make your way through to where you're at, so you were able to get there.
All right. I walk into a stalagmite like it's a pole. Like,
Ping.
oh my god.
All right, Gum Gum, kind of responding to what that other goblin was saying with a kind of a shocked expression on her face, and looks down towards one of the other goblins that's balancing in the grease. It says, "Slibber-dabber! You do it! My first demand as Queen Gum Gum!
She's already delegating.
Tame Thog!" And Slibberdabber just looks at her and is like eyes wide. And seems like, let's see. Let's leave it up to the rolls.
I honestly really hope that Gum Gum has been like playing us this whole time. She's just gonna turn on us. Like,
Could happen.
Oh,
Maybe.
if we have yet to
Like,
see what
turn on
happens
Diana.
when Slugnut or whatever this guy's name is starts his turn and has to make another save.
Is persuasion is that intelligence or wisdom? I can't remember.
It's charisma to roll, and then it's wisdom for the
Save.
insight to see through it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just do an insight to see if the goblin goes for it. Oh yeah. So intimidated by Gum Gum's, well, I guess that would be more of an intimidation thing, but slightly intimidated, the goblin seems like it's going to comply with Gum Gum's request. The other one standing right next to him is like looking at him like he's absolutely crazy. It's like, you're gonna do it? And that brings us to the big ogre, who steps over to the side by Moby and reaches down into and starts to pull out the villagers from down
like a
below.
proud father.
And it
Oh,
continues continues to set them on the other side to safety starting with the dwarf and starting to lift all these people out of the cave. So they continue to approach. The other goblins seem to be just kind of hanging out, watching what's going to happen. Slibberdabber starts to move through the grease.
Oh, did the other guy make his save?
What's that?
Did the other guy roll his check at the start of his turn?
Oh, they had to both make a check? Even if they're just standing still?
Yeah, it says whenever they start their turn.
Okay.
You got to let me see, where is it again?
This was the first one.
Yeah, grease that enters the... Oh, no. Enters or ends its turn in the grease.
Okay, so
the one who stood there has to make it. The one who left is fine.
Okay. The one who stood there was trying to stop Slibberdabber from going going towards the ogre, and as Slibberdabber moves away, slips and falls right on his butt into the grease, and just the grease just starts to splatter everywhere, and Slibberdabber just all of a sudden disappears into the darkness. And then you begin to hear some speaking. As Slibberdabber rolls an 11.
He's gonna get stepped on.
What's the other one roll?
Let's see what happens. You hear the roar of an ogre get immediately just start echoing through the cave. But before anything happens, Lachlan, would you like to do anything as you start to hear this commotion happening from inside the darkness?
I'll hold my turn for the time being.
Okay, that brings us to Molfin.
Molfin's a little worried about this giant blind ball of darkness. So, looking from the outside of this giant globe, do I have a pretty good idea where the center of this would be?
You have an idea, but it's still going to be difficult not being able to see.
Oh, Molfin's looking and looks over at this goblin sitting on his butt in the grease and goes, I would imagine the ogre would be easier to deal with if it was not standing up and stomping all over the place. Looks like that's about the center, so... And he's going to fire off another grease spell, trying to hit a 10-foot block roughly at the center of where the black sphere is, and ideally trying to aim right underneath the ogre's feet.
All right.
Can I do something to help when my turn hits? Can I do something to help?
What is it that you wanted to do?
Oh, when my turn hits, I just want to give a yank on... Can I give a yank to the spiritual weapon and trip him so he falls and make sure that he is in the grease?
Well, you wouldn't be able to move it, and a yank would be a move for the spiritual weapon. So, but...
I tried helping, but I'm sorry.
You don't need to, because Molfin is able to guesstimate the location of the center. And this ogre is going to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Fall on your buttocks.
And you just hear the slam of a large creature hitting the ground as it goes.
Oh my god. Moby, you're wrong. And yes, Stumpy, Mr. Carrot Rope, he does moisturize with fresh gnome grease.
Yep, that's it. Gnome grease.
Gotta have that skincare routine.
Does the other grease spell continue?
Yeah, they're not concentration.
All right, gotcha.
It's just, it lasts for 10 rounds.
Yep, lasts for 10 rounds. That's right. So now the other creature is going to try to. First of all, it's going to try to break the grapple of the spiritual weapon. I guess what this will do is this will be contested against your spell save DC, Diana.
Oh, me? Okay.
So strength check for the ogre against
14, I think.
14. It's still trapped in there. Uses half of its movement to stand, and then must make a dexterity saving throw again in order to move out of the grease.
Oh, please, oh, it'd be so funny.
As it tries to regain its footing, and slams back down into the ground. Slams into the ground. That brings us up to Callista.
I am going to follow Diana.
Really?
I never knew a grease spell would come in so handy. That was anytime I ever build. I was like, why would anybody take this spell?
It's,
I never thought goblins would come in handy.
in my training of Lachlan, that was the one spell I refused to teach him.
Too dangerous.
I'm gonna get up beside Diana.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Oh. Trying to save my life and whatnot.
Or Callista, go ahead and make a survival check as well as you're going through the darkness.
But if I wouldn't I be? Oh, it's the smoke. The smoke. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is magical darkness, so it's it's just pitch black.
Survival.
Survival, yes. As you're trying to make your way through. Yes, you're fine. You end up same place. You kind of stumble on some of the rocks that are below you, but you're able to find your way towards Diana.
Okay, and I will. Cure Wounds.
How much?
All right, so Diana, as Callista makes her way to you, you feel some rejuvenation come back into your as some of your wounds start to heal. So you get five hit points back, Diana.
Oh.
As Callista heals you.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I'm like, are we gonna kill Stinkbat? What's your plan?
I'm counting. I'm doing math. Hang on. 5. 6, okay. I am about.
It's a concentration action.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
I'm like on a gum level in terms of math. Okay. My plan.
Oh, thank you so
going-
much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the adventure.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was just going to go tell her that Gum is queen, and it would all go really well, and she would be very convinced and think that I'm really.
Very weird.
Well, just be prepared to kill her.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think she wants Gum Queen. She wants to be queen.
Oh, I know, but you know.
Okay, just okay.
Well, win some, lose some. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just gonna like follow Diana's lead and just wait for her.
All right.
Okay.
That brings us up to another goblin who is kind of just awaiting to see what happens to Slitterdabber, who went into the darkness. That brings us to Moby.
All right.
Make the
I'm gonna turn to this dwarf. Yeah, that's gonna happen. They're gonna be mud.
Oh, yeah, we forgot you. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
said we should do raffle.
Yeah, let's do the raffle. That's what we'll do. Yes, I forgot to do it at the top of the last turn. So we're going to go ahead and run the raffle right now. And we need a drum roll, please. There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. And our winner is I'm going to announce as what's going in the Twitch chat. Is that Mason or is our winner? All right.
Mason.
Who won?
Mason the DM?
Mason.
I don't know if he's even still in chat though.
Oh,
He's not here right now.
Oh, Mason is our winner for
Are
tonight. Congratulations.
yeah, he'll
Mason.
come back. Well done. You'll see it.
Well done. Congratulations, Mason.
When
You
you
have
come
won
to
our
view
you have won our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
raffle and our D&D set of dice. So make sure you send your information.
I'm doing it now, Callista.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'm not because it's not coming up.
Send your information over to us at proficiencybonus@gmail.com. And congratulations.
And
for
to
entering
go with
the
those
raffle.
dice, why don't you pick up a copy of the Lost Artifacts of Gragas? You can find it on
Yeah.
Drive-Thru RPG, PDF, or you can be like me and buy a book because that's awesome.
Books are cool.
So go check that out.
Gotta have the book in your hands. It's so much different than just looking at that PDF all the time.
This thing, I reckon it weighs like 5 kilos. It is heavy. It's good. It's a big book. Big book.
Awesome,
BB.
awesome. Excellent, excellent. So Moby, your your charmed ogre is lifting prisoners and villagers out of this pit, bringing them to safety. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm gonna turn around to this this dwarf and just kind of be like, "Told you I'd get you out. How easy was that? Hey."
I knew that Lady Nandar knew what she was doing sending you, and he puts his arm on your shoulder. You never did tell me what she's doing.
Like,
Oh.
once we get out of here, yeah, we'll have a chat. Don't worry. And then awkwardly, I'm gonna be like, "Oh damn." And then I'm gonna do a lay on hands on this ogre. Just heal him back up for 1 hit point.
Oh, heal him back up to 1? Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't fall unconscious.
Okay. Gotcha. Anything else?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tap him on the back of the knee and be like, "Remember, you're following Queen Gum Gum now, and I am a loyal follower of Gum Gum, so you wouldn't want to try anything."
Are you guys all gonna go get Queen Gum Gum tattoos?
Oh my god.
Make that my first tattoo. Really?
Hey, we got 3 new followers tonight.
personally
I think we're up to 71 now, so we're only
Whoa.
4 followers away from
Nice.
picking JJ's tattoo. So
Well, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be a
this
tattoo
little
of Queen
thing.
Gum Gum.
I want to draw this cube
A
like
face
up.
tattoo. Queen Gum Gum.
Okay, I'm still rooting for Big Boy in barbed wire and a heart.
That is exactly. That's like genuinely cool.
nice.
I think JJ should get all 5 of our faces tattooed right across his forehead.
Oh my god.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we said no face tattoos because that'll make it hard for him to get a job. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Trans-
Butt
my
tattoo.
Diana, you're feeling a little bit better now that Callista's healed you up. What would you like to
Yes.
do as you're headed back
Oh.
to the area where
I will
you
go
came?
30 feet,
Okay.
and then I will scooch my screen. And I forgot which way I came through. I will go 25 feet. 25 plus 30 is 55. So after this, I have 5 more feet of movement. Oh, hey, and I'm already there. Okay.
As you run, you're running around the corner, and you're like, oh, there they are, and they're all like looking at you.
I turn around with big open arms, and I say, "We won, guys! Gum Gum's queen." Big open arms, like a perfect target.
and
Oh
all
god,
I-
Diana.
and all 3 of the goblins are just like giving you this awful look as you said, "Gum Gum is queen," and that brings us to Gum Gum's turn. And Gum Gum is still awaiting to see what happens with Slitterdabber in the center. As we go to Pox, who is flat on his tail in the grease and is just sitting there trying to stand up, is going to make a dexterity saving throw to see if he can get up without falling down again.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's able to stand this time. And he moves himself out of the grease. Knob continues to pull more prisoners out of the area, and they keep on flocking out of here. And as
their names.
and as Morak comes out, he's holding the short sword that Lachlan had given him. And he looks around and he starts seeing these goblins around. And looks up and sees Gum Gum standing up there. Looks over and sees this other goblin standing next to a dead rat that's cut in half on the floor. It's like, why aren't you attacking them? They're vicious beasts. He's just kind of like looking all around at Molfin and Moby and everything, and he's just wondering what is going on.
These dolphins are
These dolphins.
And the other goblins are waiting, and all of a sudden, Slibberdabber comes running out of the darkness. Matthew, go ahead and do me a favor. Roll a D4 for me.
Okay. Oop.
Actually, Slibberdabber runs out of the darkness to the south, and immediately popping out of the darkness, falls into the pool of mud at the bottom. And just splashes into it. And just basically just sinks into the mud as he hustles out and just falls into it. Lachlan, are you still holding your action, or would you like to do something?
Still holding and kind of like guarding Queen Gum Gum as Pojo.
Okay. Molfin.
Molfin is thinking now, and would Molfin know how much an ogre weighs?
Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Why did I open the compendium? Okay, nature. Actually, why am I even bothering him? He's going to make the attempt anyway, but... Okay, I'll roll it first and see what it comes up with. Come on, I apologize, it's clicked being a little sluggish.
It's alright.
Nature. I actually have a +4 to that.
You're not, I mean, you know they're big, but you're not 100% sure an exact weight. I mean,
Thank you. Wolfen is going to think for a couple of seconds and then basically let me know if I can do this or not. As a bonus action, I want to stop concentrating on my darkness spell. Drop darkness.
I'm going to drop darkness, okay?
Oh.
And then the minute the ogre comes into view, once more, hand firmly grasped on the staff, cast levitate, and lift the beast into the air.
Oh my god.
What? What?
Oh boy. Alright. It's Constitution saving throw. Let's see if this happens.
We're hoping. Last level 2 for the day. Yes!
All of a sudden, there's the dark sphere of the room just dissipates and just blinks out instantaneously. And there is an ogre standing there. There are no longer any stalagmites in the center. It's all just crumpled rock from where it's been smashing into everything and just going nuts. Still has this lasso, this glowing divine lasso wrapped around its arms and shoulders. And all of a sudden, its legs start moving rapidly as she notices that she is lifting off of the ground and looking very confused and still very angry. As the
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling in the center here is actually 30 feet.
Then we're going the full 20 feet up into the air. And
So-
as Molfin gets him up there and realizing what everyone else is doing, he's sort of... And this is what happens to those who do not follow Queen Gum Gum.
Hey.
So you guys notice Molfin has his hands like high in the air, and he's really struggling because this is, it's kind of like, you know, Yoda using the force to move it around. He's really struggling here. He's got sweat kind of pouring down his brow. Yeah, he's focusing as the magic is levitating this beast 20 feet into the air. The higher it gets, the more frantic the creature starts to get, kicking its legs as it's still tangled up. Anything else you're doing, Molfin, or is that going to end your turn?
Nope. Molfin is just going to hold her up there.
And as she's being held, she's going to continue to try to break the grapple from the spiritual weapon. So this is against her spell save DC. Is a 15 going to do it?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it was 14. Let me go. It was 14. She's free.
So
Free and floating 20 feet in the air.
So now Thog breaks free of the spiritual weapon. The spiritual weapon just kind of dissipates as it kind of shatters into pieces and just dissipates into the air. And now is actually kind of like swimming with her arms as well as her feet are kicking as she's levitating into the air, trying to see if she can reach up and grab some of the stalactites hanging from the ceiling as she gets closer to them. That brings us up to Callista.
Okay, I'm gonna look back at the gnomes and tell them, get the people out of here. Calm them down and lead them out of here, and I'm gonna follow Diana.
Already doing it.
Okay.
Save me, Mama Bear.
Like, calm them down.
The other goblin crawls down here and starts making his way to where Slibberdabber is sinking into the mud, and appears that he's going to try to help him up. That brings us to Moby.
All right, everybody, come on, follow me. I'm gonna start leaving the dwarf and some of the people, like in a line down to the entrance of the cave.
All right. So as you guys are walking, it's like Morak just kind of looks at you with his short sword in his hand. And we're just gonna let them all live.
Don't mind the goblins, it's fine. Just trust me, come on. We've done well so far. It's good.
Pojo says, "Goblin's good."
See, do it for me. Do it for me.
He kind of hesitates a little bit, but then puts the sword away, looks towards you, and he's like, "We're gonna have to have a serious talk about this."
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, but really, I got ogres on my side. Like, what can I do? Come on, give me a little credit here.
So, you know, Nob is continuing to pull those villagers out. Diana, you are now facing all of these other individuals who are just staring at you.
Yes. Okay, so you know how in the Breakfast Club there's that scene where they run in and they see the principal and then they run back out?
Yeah.
I slide in. I'm like, we did it! I see their faces.
And I run back out.
Okay. So go ahead and move your token where you'd be running.
Girl, I got no idea where I've been. I think that was
I'm behind you, by the way.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
So, Callista,
45.
as you're following Diana, all of a sudden Diana just automatically turns around and starts running back the other way past you.
What the heck?
I don't know, I have ADHD.
Oh my god.
I mean, I do.
I forgot my gnomes.
Alright.
I just got the notes.
What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop. Well, actually, we're gonna go past Gum Gum, past all these goblins. Knob is continuing to pull prisoners out. Slibberdabber is stuck in this mud and trying to get help from one of his friends. Lachlan, is there anything that you would be doing on your turn?
Nothing in particular, but
Okay.
yeah.
Mulfin, you've got this hovering creature right now. It's just swimming in the air, being levitated above the cave floor.
Does it still look aggressive?
Oh yes, she definitely looks very aggressive.
And,
A little bit frightful of what is happening to her, but she still, like, you can see it in her eyes. She wants to say, "Whenever I get down from this, I'm going to eat you."
Isn't she still naked?
No, she has some leather on, but the other
Okay.
individual,
Oh.
Knob, who is pulling out the prisoners right now, has dried mud all over him.
So,
Can I just, for the goodwill of the people, cast a light on that and just blind it from view? Just
you can on your turn, sure.
okay, that's
But
what I'll do.
I think light is a touch spell, right?
Never mind. I'm
Backpedal.
good. I forgot that part.
Quickly, Diana says,
Oh,
"Never
no.
mind, never mind."
Do you have like a sword or something?
Mulfin's going to look up at this seriously PO'd ogre and just go, "Ugh. If you're not going to calm down, there's only one thing that can be done with you. And I'm going to burn my DM's inspiration to...
Again with the animation.
Oh yeah, that fire is gonna perfect placement of the firebolt right in the center of her stomach. Go ahead and roll your damage as the firebolt strikes the levitated creature,
Ooh.
dealing
Really?
Oh!
dealing
Wow,
a
roll 20,
massive
wow.
1 point of damage. 1 point.
You can either calm down or I can keep you up there and very slowly cook you." And that ends Mulfin's turn.
I don't. Can she continue to make saves against levitate, or does it just keep on happening?
Nope.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening
So
unless I lose concentration on it.
So she is just sitting there swimming in midair. Callista,
And
Diane.
and Mulfin is deliberately keeping her just further enough away from the ceiling that she can't grab it and use it to pull up and move herself.
got you. Callista, you just watched Diana just run out and then back, kind of bumping into you slightly as she ran past.
Okay, I'm gonna regret this, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So I'm gonna kind of turn the corner, just like peek my head around,
Okay.
and I'm like, "It's time to follow Queen Gum Gum. Follow your queen." Do persuasion.
Okay.
Can I do inspiration on this one?
Sure.
Okay. Oh! Woo-hoo!
That was a good call.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Oops. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And the quick thorn whip.
I'm going to persuade them and then I'm going to thorn whip them to death.
We've had people persuaded by the thorn whip before.
I'm gonna start following Diana once I see if they're agreeable.
Okay. the two on the sides kind of look towards each other. Snigbat in the middle kind of gets a very angry look on her face. The two on the sides kind of look at each other, questioning, and then they look towards you and are like, Hark? What about Hark?
Hark dead. Hark has no head. Hey, that rhymed.
Hark?
Hey.
Very French.
Hark dead.
Hark dead?
He has no head. Gum Gum Queen. Follow your queen.
Gum Gum Queen?
Gum Gum Queen. Hail Queen Gum Gum.
Let's see Gum Gum.
Okay.
And basically what happens here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this out of initiative order.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
So I'm going to clean all this up here. We're going to clear that turn from order. Basically, everybody but all the goblins kind of start stepping out. And they come back into the center part.
Well,
And-
an ogre is levitating 20 feet.
Yeah, well, no, there's an ogre just freaking out, levitating in the middle of the...
It's like abstract art.
But
There you go.
and the more angry it gets, the more often Molfin is sitting there just shaking his head and firing off firebolts at it.
So, as
See.
Snigbat and these
One hit
other
point at a
goblins
time.
come out, they start to look, and they're seeing this ogre pulling out all these prisoners, and they start to look towards you, Callista, and they're like, "Why? What's happening? What is that?
What are they asking? What is what?
What's happening?" And they're pointing over to the prisoners being set free.
We have bigger plans. Queen Gum Gum has bigger plans for all of you.
And they all start to approach where Queen Gum Gum is. They pass this levitating ogre that's just flipping out in the middle of the room. And
I'm motioning for the people to go, go, go.
as they come, all the people are starting to get out.
All right, this way. Come on, hurry up quickly.
And all the people are starting to exit out of this area. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and all these individuals, I'm going to move outside. They're all going outside. All the prisoners have been freed.
I'm assuming they're all going around the grease and not through it.
Yeah. One of the Morak is there trying to guide them around the grease that you have placed there. And these guys have all been taken outside. So they all exit out. And Morak follows. Are you guys staying inside, or are you guys going out with the prisoners?
What is Diana?
I will go
wanna do?
outside.
Pojo is following the prisoners.
Pojo would follow the prisoners? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going outside just because he's going outside
Okay.
in case they try anything.
So Moby goes outside, Lachlan goes outside. What are you doing, Molfin?
Molfin will take one more shot at the ogre, but the ogre's going to stay within 60 feet of Molfin.
Okay.
So as Molfin's moving down to the door, that ogre is probably slowly moving with literally just staying within 60 feet.
Just hovering up there. Okay, the fire crashes into the ogre again. Go ahead and roll damage. They're big targets. They're easy to hit, especially when they're hovering there for you.
Come on,
Nice.
big number one.
There you go. Big number. As the fire impacts it again, and it just gets this look of rage in its eyes, and it's trying to swim closer to you. And as you're moving, and it's moving a little bit, it thinks it's actually working, so it starts to move its arms quicker. Like it's actually thinking it's actually moving it itself, when really you're the one that's moving it as you're sliding out. And then we've got Callista and Diana. What is your decision? You guys headed out with the prisoners as well?
Does anyone need to like coax these goblins into still following Gum Gum?
Well, you can see that they're all kind of approaching Gum Gum. Gum Gum is on this 10-foot pedestal, and she's starting to speak in Goblin to all the goblins down below her. It's kind of like she's standing up on a little throne here, and she's kind of giving orders and kind of doing an inspirational speech to the rest of the Gum Gum, of the rest of the goblins
Rest
here.
of the Gum Gums.
I just saw something. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh
nice.
my
That
gosh.
is awesome. That is awesome.
My
Oh
theater
my
troupe
gosh.
gave this to me because I was a graduating senior.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Gum Gum is obviously in her natural habitat, and I am now the physical representation of her. And, yeah, I'll just, I don't know. I would like to stand there as her, aunt, and just hands behind my back, just looking very, cool and intimidating a little bit. I'm there to support her and back her up, and yeah.
Okay. Diana, as you're standing there, make a perception check for me.
Okay, cool. I am now her. I'm now watching out for assassins. Cool.
Secret Service.
Oh, yep.
Well, you just made it. Diana,
it.
as you're standing there watching Gum Gum give this speech after all they left, Callista, are you standing with Diana or did you go outside?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I would have been staying with Diana until she wanted to leave.
Okay, Callista, make a perception check as well while you're here.
You can have my nat 20.
She can't. Do you have a DM's inspiration point? Because you're allowed to give it to different players. That's actually in the rule book. If you'd like to give
I
it to
can?
somebody to use, yep, she could use it. If
Oh.
you want to give it to her. Yep.
Okay.
So a
Do I need it?
19.
Roll it anyway. You might crit.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so Callista, you notice this a little bit before Diana does, but you're both able to see that Snigbat
Yep, I had a feeling.
starts
I would have been watching it anyway.
slowly reaching for an arrow out of a quiver on her back as Gum Gum is given this speech and starts slowly pulling out this arrow.
I am going to
Callista?
Thorn Whip and bring her 10 feet closer to me.
What's the range of Thorn Whip? It's
30 feet?
Okay, I think you're in range. Let's double check.
I also.
Yes, you are. Go ahead and so your 13 is your Thorn Whip,
Yeah.
and that will hit, and it will bring it bring Snigbat 10 feet closer,
Yeah.
and that actually brings Snigbat right beside you and Diana, and
That's fine.
as you pull Snigbat,
I think
Snigbat
not.
is looking in very bad shape as you pull her closer to you. And as she gets closer, she looks right at Diana and right at you, Callista, and says, "I will never serve Queen Gum Gum."
But you will
Well,
never serve anyone again.
okay, can I put fire on her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Diana, you have
Yay.
one move, and this will be the end
Okay.
of our session for tonight. Whatever you
Let's hear
decide, this will be it.
We'll just put a little scorching ray down here. See how that goes. I don't know.
That hits.
What's the damage?
Go ahead and roll your damage.
What is the damage for this? I don't know what the damage is.
Just click on Scorching Ray
Just
right
click
there.
it.
Just click it and it'll
Oh, okay.
automatically roll it for you.
Oh, boom.
So-
5.
So, as Diana grasps her holy symbol, and
Cool.
with just that support of Queen Gum Gum in her eyes,
Yes.
all of a sudden this divine flame shoots from Diana and just consumes Snigbat. And when the flame just shoots all the way across to this other side and crashes into the wall. And when the flame, it's like watching a flamethrower just shoot flames from Diana. When it's all said and done, there is just a black corpse of fiery smoke sitting on the ground where Snigbat used to be. And ladies and
Gotta protect
gentlemen, that is where we're going to end our session for tonight. As Queen Gum Gum is now
This
the
is her
ruler of this little goblin band, the Dripping Cave.
I
It's a
high
little-
five Diana.
I high-fived her as well, and that was sure cool.
And
Oh, hell of a night.
Well, that's
We all
story
lived.
over.
You all
No more
lived.
Gum Gum.
Wow. Well,
Well done,
well.
man! I tell you, so many good things happened tonight. That was really cool.
So
A
we're
lot
at level
more.
4 now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Actually, let me check something really quick.
There were so
Like, a
many
lot
great-
more things lived than should have lived. Like that was pretty impressive.
No,
I
well,
was expecting to find that.
considering Diana lassoing that ogre, then you and me causing it to be blinded, and even if it had been able to move, the blindness going with it.
Oh, that could have got real.
Yeah, that could have got messy.
You're welcome. Oh yeah. I had something that I wanted to bring up to the party, but now the party is all gone everywhere. But it's okay.
Oh, characters who survive the perils of the Dripping Caves advance to 4th level.
What?
Yes!
We're getting so powerful.
Yes,
Really
yes,
feels
yes.
like one
Our
thing. That's so good.
heroes are now 4th level. Yeah, it's the beginning of this adventure kind of moves quick. The first 5 levels are
Yeah.
kind of abrupt, but after you get to level 5,
Oh,
it
that's
kind of
good.
slows down from there. So just
We
just so
get.
you guys are aware. So you guys are level 4.
Oh.
So you
Can I
guys.
just-
Ooh. Am I the only one that gets extra attack? Is that just me?
I think so.
Does anyone else get extra attack at level 5? Oh my god! 2 attacks!
Wow.
All right.
Moby
So
is
Double
so.
smite.
our heroes are now level 4. So starting next week for episode 10. Is next week episode 10?
Bell.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think we're on 9 tonight, so yeah.
That's
Next week is
awesome.
10.
We'll be in double
Once we
digits.
have our Oktoberfest stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week is our Oktoberfest theme.
Oh.
So
Now that's a.
Get your Lederhausens.
so yeah, get your look for some
Und your
Oktoberfest
Weissbier?
attire. So we're gonna do an Oktoberfest
What am I gonna-
theme. It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited for that.
That's
Where do you get
Reason to
Lederhosen?
drink.
get?
Oh, you get an
They're
anyway.
Australians.
Oh,
They
go on.
tend to wear weird things.
Oh, you got your Lederhausens.
Oh, I am so torn
So-
now.
Do we get is an ability
Ooh, and
score
everyone pick up
improvement,
the
or is it?
So at level
up some
4, you can
yeah,
either increase an ability score by 2,
Oh.
or you can take a feat. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that because feats are optional. Michael, are you allowing feats?
Yeah, if you guys want to take feats, I'm fine with that.
I already have 2 feet.
I was gonna say the same thing.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, how does that affect my movement speed if I get a 3rd feet?
To be fair, I think the ogres already had a go for it.
I'm just gonna go crawl in a corner and die.
Please. Okay.
Yeah, I think. What page are the feet on? The feats.
Feats start at 165.
165. Yeah, so 165 in the player's handbook. If you guys want to, there's those options as well, but then you forego the taking.
Oh,
the ability
in the Lost
scores.
Artifacts of Greygast, chapter 6, you've got a little page, a chapter on gloves and footwear. So there'll be stuff about feet in there.
There you go.
I
There you go.
guess.
Awesome. So once
Actually.
again, thank you to all of our viewers who tuned in tonight. We are so glad that we had such a great group of viewers and followers. We had a
Yeah.
couple followers tonight, so thank you guys for joining the adventure. Also, don't forget, this is September on Twitch, so your subscriptions are 50% off. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Once again, we'll be back next week for episode 10. It's our Oktoberfest theme, and we'll be seeing what happens as we wrap up the Dripping Caves and move on in the next steps of our adventure. But before we go tonight, as is our tradition, we want to ask our party tonight, our group, is there something that stuck out tonight that we need to award
There's so many.
It's because
free a nat 20 for that person next week. If those of you that are still in chat want to chime in and something that either stuck out with RP or stuck out in combat, that was something that was just spectacular that one of our players or characters did. If you could mention that in the chat, we're gonna give out a free nat 20 to one of our characters.
I got to go with Lachlan and his. Lachlan didn't show up today. I got to go with Pojo on this one. That little stab Hark in the back to ingratiate everyone to Queen Gum Gum was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I
got Diana. She,
for what?
her star episode Persuasion was, whew, damn. She saved us
For
a bit
doing
there.
I didn't hear you.
I got Diana on this.
Oh, that's a good point
What?
too. Moby and his whipping the thing into submission. That's like a
I
bad
did-
Oh, that
BDSM
was-
video.
that blew my.
That's
I
the
didn't-
first time Moby's ever done anything in combat, and he mutilated that thing.
And I still didn't kill it.
You still didn't kill it. Yeah, that's it.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
I just wanted to say that I vote for Callista because she ripped off a dude's head in bear form and also
Oh, yeah.
convinced
Yeah, Callista did get the killing
I have been trying to
blow.
do failed.
And I
Yeah.
got,
It seems like our
got that
chat is a
natural
little.
nat 20, which was kind of surprising.
Moby would never kill a BBO.
Sometimes I think I hate. Sometimes I think I hate us.
Hey, we're great.
Well, you know what? Here's what we're gonna
Doesn't
do.
seem like the only comment we got from chat is from Mr. Carrot Rope with Moby's got a thing for the BBOs.
Anything bear related is an A+ material to me, honestly.
Oh, there we go.
Here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and give we'll give Callista the nat 20 for next week. So we're gonna award Callista that. Everybody else around the board, DM's inspiration for great roleplay and just great ideas tonight. Having Knob get the villagers out of the pit, that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was.
I know
genius.
that and the darkness, like charming the ogre and the darkness. I was just like, wow, that's perfect.
I mean,
so smart.
Wolfen.
I mean, that is, even if I wanted to kill you guys, it was like you guys are so good. You're making it difficult as a DM to. And unfortunately, I have to play these characters as if they're really stupid because ogres are really stupid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but you guys are doing a great job. And
That was a really good battle compared to our first time against the orcs. Like that was 100%
Oh, that was
better.
yeah.
This was
Yeah.
so less anxiety, but at the same time, oh god, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I felt like it was more exciting because it didn't drag on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. We did it so quickly. I was so surprised.
Mhm. And when we get into other battles and things like that, if there's a group of enemies that are kind of no-named enemies, I'm just going to kind of have them go on the same orders the next time that we do something like that. These unfortunately all had their own individual names, so I went ahead and just rolled for them all because there wasn't so many.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that was good. That was good. I mean, you guys did great. I mean,
Good job. Good game, guys.
it's awesome. Good game.
Oh yeah.
Game, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Such a good game.
So next week.
So many good moments.
So many good moments, yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to catch us on Friday nights here for Storm King's Thunder on Proficiency Bonus. Also on Mondays, we've got Tomb of Annihilation running with DM Matthew, who plays Molfin on Fridays for us. So he's running Tomb of Annihilation. with a group of wonderful adventures. I believe JJ is playing a character named King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard, I think is what it's called. And then
Sure.
so,
Did he
Damn, you're
almost
right.
die
Damn.
last session? I think he almost died last session.
I think he did.
He almost wiped 3 players.
He
Oh my god.
this King Gizzard, he went into a trap tomb, and every step there was a trap, and he just kept on going, and he didn't even look for more traps. He just kept walking.
Playing like Twister with traps. Like,
And you know it got bad, and you got anyone interested, please watch the video. It is hysterical. When he tried to open the door, got blasted from the door, down into the next room, landed on the trap pit there, which triggered walls of fire to try to cook him.
oh, King Gizzard.
It was only due to one lucky roll from their healer that he is still breathing, because the roll on the fire trap would have been an instant death.
Well, I enjoyed. I didn't.
It was good fun.
I only got to like the first 3 traps, and then I had to go to sleep that night. But I tell you, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to watch the end of that because I missed the fire scene. I want to.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical. I'm sitting there. I've got now, mind you, we're still trying to work out because of the video issues with
Oh yeah.
with Roll20. But I'm sitting there with my head in my hands, trying not to laugh. As I'm going, this idiot is going to wipe the party, and I'm going to have to roll the damage to do it.
Really enjoyed it.
That's hilarious. Don't forget to check out
Thank
the book that JJ's got, Lost Artifacts. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a link to it.
It is a quality item. Absolutely fantastic.
There is a link to
And
it
I'm
on
not being
Drive
paid
through
to say
our-
this.
Yeah, we're not being paid.
It's an artifact itself.
He has it. He has
Oh,
the
it
book,
really
and
is.
it is a very good read. So I recommend you go check that out. It's Drive Through RPG in that link. If you just click on that link. But other than that, is there anything else? Make sure you check out Christy Mystic Waters' YouTube channel. She has a bunch of videos on there. Zoss is very active on Twitter, so make sure you go follow her on Twitter. I love reading her tweets every day. It inspires me.
Very active. That's
He's
the
very
phrase.
active on Twitter. MG, what are you getting into nowadays?
I don't even know.
You know what I mean?
I'll hold my turn. I'll hold my turn.
MG's holding his turn for
The
next
enigma.
round. So don't forget to check us out. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on this this Twitch channel. Make sure you hit that follow button. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, Storm King's Thunder. We will see you next Friday. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Love you. Bye.
Good night. Have a great
Bring
weekend.
your eyes be up next week.
Yeah.
Watch for Moby and his leader hosen next week.